Hello. Time to get spooky. Ah, God, it's bright. This game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. We're going to play with a controller. Why am I not hearing anything? Individuals suffering from anxiety or depression may not have a positive experience playing this game. Would you like to review a detailed content warning? Which contains spoilers. Alternatively, in-game content warning can be enabled in settings at any time. Ah! Wait, you can't hear me? What? How can you not hear me? Mic check. Nope, I hear me. You should be able to hear me. Because I hear me. Give me a second. Going to my channel. Come on. Just want to make sure that I'm not screwed up. I'm so sorry, guys. Did not mean for this to work or screw up like this. Yeah, no, I hear me. Yeah, no, I hear me. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Okay, that's what I was thinking. All right, let me close that out. Okay. We pull OBS back up. Give me a second. There we go. There's a little bit of brightness back. Somehow Bluetooth got turned on in your computer for what? That's strange. I'm going to play controller so I can just kind of kick back and relax. Actually, you know what? Before we even really start, I am wearing my hoodie. Don't mind my fat boyness. But we got our Dukemon right here. And on the back, I can't really see very well. What can you see? We got the PB&J logo on the back. The Making a PB&J logo on the back, baby. Those are my emotes, if you guys were interested in the merch. Can I pretty please get a merch link in the bio? What up, Spike? Did you see the hoodie? I don't know why my shit's all screwy. But yeah, no, we got the hoodie. I'm gonna do it again real quick. We got our Dukemon, and then on the back, got our Making a PB&J, baby. Hell yeah! It's a nice hood, albeit a little flappy. I'm not used to it personally, but you know, it's comfy. Plan to get one Friday. Hell yeah, possibly a beanie as well. I'm still waiting for mine. But you know, only can do what we can do. Also, we are making a new print tonight. And I'm very nervous about it. It's a Pokemon, and that's all I'll say. We'll be a squad in January. Fuck yeah, we're not gonna do any spoilers. Like I was saying, I'm gonna play controller so that way I can kick back and relax. Everyone open up! Already. Fucking already, huh? Yeah, I can relax. Playing Doki Doki Literature Club, you agree that you have noted the game's age rating in your region and you consent to your exposure of highly disturbing content. We agree, right? I just realized the game is kind of taking over the whole thing. Remove the game capture. There we go. Sorry, it's happy. You don't know if you're old enough to play this? Well, that's fine. I am. New game, motherfucker! Please enter your name. Okay. X! Fuck! X! Just gotta be careful. Some of them might have. Son of a bitch. Be careful. Some of them might have dirts. Hey! I see an annoying girl running toward me from a distance. That's very loud in my ears. Is the game a little too loud for you guys too? Before we continue? Because I feel like it's a little loud. So fucking happy. All right, yeah, let me dip it down a little. Okay. Shit. History. I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. Return. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I'd get tired of waiting up. But if she's gonna chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I ever slept again, but I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Alex guy thing. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you wanted to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Alex, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already. I'm really not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did, in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me, when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you were happy now, but I'd die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. What is a NEET? You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. All right. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. Oh, shut in. Okay. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly. Ah! Woo! After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. She has no nose. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you were just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. I sniffed you out with my no nose. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's gonna make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, know what? Well, that you come to my club. Sayori. Yeah? There's no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayori's vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title of vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please! Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or if she's so cunning as to have planned it all this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yay, let's go! And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. Boy, I'd sell my soul for some fucking Cheeto dust. What are you talking about? Hang on. My ear is like popping, and it's annoying me. I dejectedly followed Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here! I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori says nice things about you. Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Alex, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. Of the three, who's the cutest, do you think? Agreed. Purple hair. Purple hair's cute. She's the one I would think is the cutest. What are you looking at? Not boobies. If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. She's also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Tsundere. Shit, Tsundere, remind me. Don't tell me. Anyway, this is Natsuki. Like Psycho no Sutoka. Okay, gotcha. Never mind, I remember. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. No spoilers for this game. I know it's a horror game, but I'm enjoying how fucking happy it is so far. I don't know really anything about this game. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. Keep being blind? Okay. And it sounds like you already know who Monica is. Is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Alex Guy thing. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So, having her smile at me genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica. Come sit down! We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there's one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Ooh-ah! Nani! Sorry. Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like cute little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs the first one, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full. Oh, sorry. Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. Ah! Sorry. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I fucking drooled on my mic. Damn it. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. Yeah. I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe, but not for, you, dummy. All right. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. Keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so... That's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and the publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. I get that. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. I can agree with that. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best! I'll show you the results of my training! Sorry. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they're all so delighted in the idea of a new member joining. Though, I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, what kinds of things do you like to read? Considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. Looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess? Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid that, since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that, but if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes darted over to me for a split second. She's like, never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind behind the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called "Don't Say It Out Loud! Give it back!" Fine, fine. Your cupcakes, your poems. Everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, do you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet? I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. Dance like no one's watching. That kind of thing. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing them the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Oh, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. The next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way everyone is even. Sorry, the only thing I don't like about my hoodie is the tag really wants to dig into the back of my neck. Yeah, let's do it! Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it'll help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. Now, what's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lost train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls? Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girl's eyes lit up. Yes, I'm so happy! Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. That makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think that we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Alex, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z! Sorry. Hey, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she's always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! Wah, wah, wah. With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in the literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright! I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess it starts with writing a poem tonight. That club is lit. Ha ha! I get it. Oh shit, time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Infinite. Infinite chocolate. Whisper. Uncontrollable. Breathe. Nibble. The music is so fucking happy. How can it be scary? Suicide, what the fuck? Daydream. What does effulgent mean? Sure. Infallible. Kawaii. Lucky. Friends. Cheer. Milk. Vertigo. Hop. Variance. Fear. I hate Vertigo. We're going to go with Vertigo. Twirl. Lust. No, twirl, honey. Twirl. Sorry. Rose. Treasure. Lollipop. Rain cloud. Extraordinary. Starscape. Fun or fickle? I like the word fickle, actually. It's a nice word. Doki doki. Judgment. Explode. Calm. Love. Raindrops. Captive. Electricity. Giggle. Contamination. Captive has more than one meaning, sure. Okay, so when they bounce, that means like when the characters bounce in the bottom corner, does that mean I'm resonating with one of them more than another? Okay. Sensation. Melody, laugh, misery, anime, candy, anger, comfort, extreme, cheeks! No further than cheeks. Aura, waterfall, flee, empty, lazy, charm, Valentine, crimson, clouds, sunny. Crimson. Hopeless, despise, depression, passion, embrace, spinning, vacation, shame, poof, nightgown. Who the fuck would like nightgown? Oh, makes sense. I guess. Disoriented, prayer, feather, blanket, alone, entropy. Entropy is a good word. Vivid, sweet, peaceful, pink, death, adventure, ribbon, socks, intellectual, excitement. Adventure! Disaster, essence, misfortune, sadness, memories, hair, heart, papa. Papa, ocean, or horror. Papa! Childhood, jumpy, existence, defeat, skipping, strawberry, portrait, cry, sparkle, shopping. Defeat. Vanilla, lipstick, kitty, meager, beauty, massacre, dazzle, amazing, happiness, secretive. Dance, disarray, desire, bouncy, fantasy, party, summer, holiday, sunset, disown. Disarray. Unrestrained, fluffy, fireflies, pout, landscape, warm, hope, shiny, question, skirt! Skirt! Speaking of skirts, I'm looking to see if the skirt lifted on my print. Looks like we're good. We're good. We're still good. Hi again. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I kept my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. I am not printing Snorlax, but I am printing a Pokemon. It's a Halloween-themed Pokemon. And we're going to do a late-night 3D stream because this is going to take over a day to make. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Not Haunter. Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me he didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps manga collections in the back room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! I mean... Okay, since I started my job, I have read Demon Slayer, Dr. Stone, Rurouni Kenshin to their completion. And I started One Punch Man. And I love all of it. It's all fantastic. And it's not Gengar. And it's not Gengar. It's Gengar. Gengar. Because I know you'd be like, oh, you spelled it wrong. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. He always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without even me asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and you become good friends too? Sayori, As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori? Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like it was a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal if you don't want it to be. All right. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monika to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. That doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monika are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book, and I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap! I think she noticed me looking at her. She sinks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about, anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. This book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart. It's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. You're not a fan of that sort of thing, huh? No, it's not that. I mean, I could definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. Just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone who wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Berserk immediately came to mind with that sentence. Wow. Then suddenly, when you thought you're related to the protagonist, they're made out to be naive for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to the other people. So, I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. Ah, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started on reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I put into my bag. All right. It's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in the company of someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. All right. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust my microphone so I don't have to lean into it. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean, here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. In the shape of an L on her forehead. Sorry. Man, I feel like I'm talking a whole lot, but not talking to you guys. No! This is not what I was expecting at all. This is just the build-up, right? Because, I feel like they're introducing some characters, and then they're gonna get fucked up. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second there. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. Oh, she's looking at me. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I can turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb, gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything. They kind of reminiscent of some sort of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. Oh, it's so embarrassing when you think that. Wait, I don't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. think it's about time we shared today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and then slip it into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah? My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration, since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's on a wrinkled sheet of loose-leaf torn paper from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first, guys? Who should we share with? I'm gonna wait. Find that answer. Sayori? Okay, because I know Yuri is the purple-haired chick. The one that we were both in agreement of. She cute. The music's weird here. But yeah, we'll do Sayori. Alright. I'm definitely most comfortable sharing it with Sayori first. She's my good friend, after all. Yeah? This is a good poem. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. I'm the kind of guy who would be writing poems. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing his poems in spare time? Yeah, I guess you're right. That's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. It doesn't matter. I think there's... If I know anything about this game, is it's like you play it over. Purple reverse to be mess with this thing. I think you build relationships, but I don't know. I do know that you replay this game like over and over. That's the only thing I really know about it. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you just wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this is for other people. That's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah. I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That'll be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then. Yay! Now, you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. Well, we'll see about that. I kind of want to be with Yuri, because she cute. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above. The sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Beautiful. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No, just a little bit. Me too. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. Forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say it like it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast! Even though you were late to school? It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. Yeah, this is so much fun. Monika is the best. Yeah. But next time I won't forget, and I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Wish I showed my poem to Yuri! As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Huh? I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicate you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in the new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. So in other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you could be blamed for. There are many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together probably is the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example, and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Beautiful. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What the fuck? What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Eh? That's a relief. Also, I liked the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Uh-huh. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbologically compared to a ghost. Or symbolically, sorry. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past. And soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Eh? It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah, if anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you. Me too. Who should I show my poem to next, guys? Natsuki or Monika? I'm gonna let you pick it. Natsuki? Okay. Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me, princess. Sorry. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotion. So basically, it's not cute enough for your tastes. Do you want to get smacked? It doesn't matter what your name is! Sorry. I'll pass. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Hang on, I gotta fix my headphones. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try. But that's about it. Perfect. Yeah. Told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can really be disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for rhyme at the end, but then I made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into that than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with the last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Pro gamer move. I guess Monika. Hi! Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, I'm glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until it's more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Ha! Don't worry. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? I don't know why I had to read it like that. But it's that sort of barrier that we all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monika my poem. Great job. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put some effort in. Same. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who uses simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write that effectively. Both allowing people to get something out of it, just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all the nuances. It could take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked, though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find what kind of style suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kind of styles, but I'll always find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See, the direction the spackle protrudes? A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No! I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas, already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. Creepy! So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. I'm waiting for one of them to just shit on a piece of paper and hand it to me. Be like, what'd you think? Sorry. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. Kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. That's actually pretty solid advice, actually. Whew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayuri and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns to the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try hard to come up with something to say nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. As if I was looking for suggestions, I would ask somebody who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it. And Alex did too. Based on that, I'll gladly give some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Alex liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Alex appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh. And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Alex started showing up. Damn. Natsuki. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you! I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me if they just noticed I was standing there. Alex, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to figure it out. Help me explain that to her. Wait, there's a reason why we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meanings the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You do understand that, right? Well? How do I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whoever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So, of course, that's going to be... Yuri. Natsuki. You're right that I liked your poem. See? Wait. That's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri. Eh? You're a seriously talented writer, and it's no secret that I was impressed. Well, that's... But here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it, and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that I'm sorry. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fists. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped. At this point, feeling defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up even feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. Sayori, she doesn't need to... You know what? I'm going to do that. I'll spare me from having to look at all your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches her own poem up from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Natsuki, she really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in the adjacent chair. Everything all right? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I've acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri. How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks. You're too kind. I'm thankful to have you as part of this club now. It's nothing. One more thing. One more thing! That one thing that Natsuki said? About, I would never do anything so shameful. So, what thing did Natsuki say? Well, never mind that. I'm going to make some tea. Ah, good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay? Yeah. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. How about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome! In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. Maybe learn something from your friends, too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with a newfound determination. Hey! Ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It surely has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, that what happened earlier? What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki? Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I could see why they make good friends with you. Whew. You know, it's nice that I get to spend some time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think that everyone really likes you, too. Every day is going to be so much fun. It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? Well, I'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. All right, so we got to make another poem. All right. Oh, there's a lot of reading in this game. Infallible. Color, calm, whirlwind, bliss, lollipop, dark, poof, sticky, vacation, whirlwind, uncanny, peace, sweet socks. Sweet socks. That sounds like a new emote. Inferno. Jesus Christ, massacre. Eternity. Bubbles. Fickle. Disoriented. Frightening. Sadness. Rain cloud. Dance. Cheer. Vibrant. I like disoriented, but fickle is good too. Spinning. Vivacious. Desire. Jumpy. Sparkle. Amazing. Rainbow. Broken. Climax. Pure. Sure, pure. Why not? Blanket. Skipping. Tears. Empty. Ocean. Time. Suicide. No. Lipstick. Kawaii or jump. Empty. Yeah, I need to hydrate again. God damn. Gotta keep that whistle wet. Raindrops, fireflies, unrequited, unstable, fester. Precious, happiness, lucky, pain, destiny. Fester. Sing, infinite, ambient, fantasy, pleasure, shopping, daydream, joy, puppy, insight. Insight. Anxiety. Doki doki. Depression, marshmallow, beauty, giggle, rose, hop, animate, bouncy. Giggle. Contamination. Friends, holiday, explode, entropy, atone, aura, kiss, fun, charm, fear. Incongruent, unending, despise, alone, nightgown, hurt, extreme electricity, extraordinary, death. Sorry. Who liked that? Was that the fucking one lady? Sayori? Why did she like death? Family, clumsy, fireworks, shame, effulgent, intellectual. Sure. Universe, disaster. Withal, peaceful, captive, melancholy, incapable, games, passion, incapable. Philosophy, flee, loud, agonizing, breathe, graveyard, afterimage, cry, judgment, feather. Judgment! Silly, lazy, wrath, pink, romance, bunny, melody, prayer, question, lust. Lust. Anger, grief, bed, hair, laugh, papa, candy, meager, strawberry, defeat. Meager. Play, hopeless, misfortune, playground, portrait, nature, whisper, adventure, summer, scars. Scars. Unrestrained, party, disown, promise, tragedy, covet, horror, memories, Valentine, waterfall. Horror! Excuse me. Let's look at our print. I don't think anybody's going to get it, but it's very Halloween themed. Think about a Pokemon that sits inside of something. And that's all I'll give you. Because we are totally going to let the print go overnight. Another day passes, and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me. Hi! Yo, Sayori. Looks like you're in a good mood today. Good mood today. I'm still just not used to being, I'm still just not used to you being in the club, that's all. No, not Lantern. I see. It's a pretty simple thing you get in a good mood. Think Halloween. Like, what's one of the big things in Halloween? But I guess it's always the simplest things with you anyway. Speaking of which, I'm kind of hungry. I will say it's a Kanto region Pokemon. That's all I'll give you. Will you come with me to buy a snack? Okay. No thanks. Eh? That's not like you at all. I have my reasons. Why don't we have to take a look at your purse, Sayori? Why is that all of a sudden? No reason, really. I just wanted to look at it. That's the thing it's in. It is in a pumpkin. I just wanted to look at it. Sayori nervously retrieves her coin purse. She fumbles with the latch and gets it open. Then she turns it upside down and lets its contents spill onto the desk. Only 2 small coins fall out. I knew it. I can see right through you, Sayori. That's not fair. How'd you even know? It's simple. If you had enough money in the first place, you would have bought a snack before coming into the club room. So either you're not hungry and wanted an excuse to take a walk, or you plan to conveniently forget that you spent all your money, so that would lend you some. But there's one more thing. One more thing! You're always hungry. And so that only leaves one option. I give up. Don't make me feel guilty. If you feel guilty, that means you deserve to feel guilty. Yuri suddenly giggles. Huh? I didn't notice that she was listening in. Specific to the Mango region. I want there to be a Mango region Pokemon now. That's the fucking best typo. No, not Halloween Bulbasaur. But it's in a pumpkin. I didn't notice that she was listening in. Her face is in her book as always. I know. The Mango region is great. I wasn't listening or anything. I was just something in my book. Yuri, tell him to let me borrow some money. Don't get me involved like that, Sayori. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. And frankly, after pulling a mischievous little stunt like that, your suffering is fair enough retribution. Damn. I didn't mean that. I got too absorbed into my book. I really like when you speak your mind, Yuri. It doesn't happen much, but it's such a fun side of you. That doesn't seem right. There's no way you could think that. You were right, though. I did something bad, and now I have to accept the revolution. Retribution. That! Still, coming from you, Sayori. I guess there's a little devil inside all of us, isn't there? Don't let her fool you. Sayori knows exactly what she's doing. After all, she told you guys she was bringing me to the club before she even told me. Not Pikachu. But you wouldn't have come if it weren't for the cupcakes. So I had to trick Natsuki into making them. Come on, give me more credit than that, Sayori. Out of nowhere, something smacks Sayori in the face and tumbles onto the desk. Pwap! Kyop! Ow. What was... A cookie! Sure enough, it's a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. Sayori glances around. Is this a miracle? It's because I paid my restitution. Retribution. Actually, that one almost worked. I was just gonna give it to you. Then I heard you blab about the cupcakes. It was totally worth seeing your reaction, though. Not Natsuki. That's so nice of you. I'm so happy. Sayori hugs the cookie. Jeez, just eat it. Sayori rapidly tears open the wrapper and takes a big bite. So good. Sayori suddenly clasps her hands over her mouth. I bit my tongue. Nah, you're going through a lot over just one cookie. Natsuki takes a bite of her own cookie. Oh, yours looks really good too, Natsuki. Can I try it? Jeez, beggars can't be choosers. But yours is chocolate. Chocolate! Sorry. Why do you think I gave you that one? Fine. Still, I'm really happy that you shared this one with me. Yeah. Sayori gets out of her seat and goes behind Natsuki, then wraps her arms around her. Jeez. I get it. Cookie still in hand, Natsuki reaches up to nudge Sayori off of her. Oh. Sayori suddenly leans down and takes a bite of Natsuki's cookie. Hey! Did you seriously just do that? No. Mouthful, Sayori trots away to safety. Yuri and I laugh as well. Jeez, you're such a kid sometimes. Monika, can you tell Sayori... Natsuki glances around. Monika's in the club room. Ugh. Where's Monika anyway? Good question. Have any of you heard anything about her being late today? Not me. Yeah, I haven't either. That's a bit unusual. I hope she's okay. Of course she's okay. She probably just had something to do today. She's pretty popular after all. You don't think she has a... I wouldn't be surprised. She's probably more desirable than all of us combined. Yeah, that's true. Excuse me! Excuse me. By the way, I burped. Suddenly the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. Ah, there you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Eh? Monica chose the club over her boyfriend after all. You're so strong-willed, but boyfriend? What on earth are you talking about? Monica quizzically glances at me. Ah, never mind that. What held you up, anyway? Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kind of just lost track of time. That makes no sense, though. You would have heard the bell ring, at least. I must not have heard it since I was practicing piano. Piano? I wasn't where you play music as well, Monica. I don't really. I just kind of started recently. I've always wanted to learn piano. That's so cool. You should play something for us, Monica. Monica looks at me. Maybe once I get a little bit better, I will. Yay! That sounds cool. I'd also look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down. Monica smiles. Sweetly. I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that. Ah, don't worry. I've been practicing a whole lot recently, and I really love the chance to share once I'm ready. I see. In that case, best of luck. Thanks! So I didn't miss anything, did I? Not really. I chose to leave out Sayori's mischievous escapade. I'm sure Natsuki will end up complaining to her anyway. Looks like everyone has already settled down. Sayori somehow already finished her entire cookie. Yuri's back to her book, and Natsuki disappeared into the closet. Hey, Yuri. Eh? I suddenly noticed that Yuri is reading a different book from the one we've been reading together. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Oh, no. I was kind of just waiting for you. Ah, if that's the case, why don't we go ahead and get started? Yes, let's! Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first? Not at all. Thanks very much. If there's one thing that can make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well. Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, the kind with a filter inside. Can you hold this for a second? Sure. Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electric kettle. I'm going to plug this in at the teacher's desk and then we'll go get some water. She walks past me and sets the kettle down on the teacher's desk. I simply just watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts her speaking mannerisms, especially because of her long legs. Yuri appears elegant and methodical. Okay, may I have the water pitcher? Thanks, I'll be right back. Ah, I might as well walk with you. Yeah, why not? Shall we go then? Yeah. Where are you off to? Yuri was gonna make some tea, so I suddenly realized how weird it is to sound. I suddenly realized how weird it sounds to explain this to Monica. We're just filling the water pitcher. Ah, okay. Sorry, I was just a bit curious. It's kind of a one-person job, isn't it? Monica, please mind your own business for once. Or do you want to tell me something's wrong with helping involve Alex in club activities? My mouth gapes. I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. Then let's go. Yuri quickly exits the room and I follow. Damn! Snippy. Once in the hallway, she suddenly puts her forehead against the wall. I spoke without thinking. How could I say something like that? Yuri, something about the way she said that. It made me feel so irritated. What's wrong with me? No, Yuri. I think you did the right thing. I wasn't expecting it, but it's also not right for Monica to judge people like that. Alex, how come even when I do something bad, you're being nice to me? Because nothing that you do is as bad as you make it seem in your head. Nobody's perfect. We have emotions, and we can't always hide them away. But you always amplify things in your head. Your mind turns a light rain shower into a hurricane. No. Wouldn't you hate me for something as terrible as that? Why would I hate you? I can't hate someone for having emotions. What kind of friend would do that? Friend, you say? Yuri lifts her head. I really like being friends with you. Thanks, Yuri. I like being friends with you, too. I feel kind of awkward saying something like that. But I'm doing my best to help Yuri feel better. Anyway, yeah. Shall we go? Yeah. Yuri and I walk to the nearest water fountain. Once we fill up the water pitcher, we return to the classroom. Oh man, I almost choked on water. Do you like oolong tea? Yeah. Anything is fine. Very well. Yuri sets the temperature on the kettle to 200 degrees. Now it's time to get the teapot. You really do this properly, don't you? Of course. I shouldn't do any less when I'm making tea for others. Even if I'm not an expert on tea or anything? Uh-huh. In that case, you'll only be even more impressed. Ah, perhaps I will. Yuri fetches the teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself. You must be in a good mood now. Is that so? I was letting it show, and you noticed. I was doing a bit of thinking, and I decided that I would try expressing myself a little bit more. Turns out it's not very hard for me to do. When it's you who's around anyway. That's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much. You're always worrying about me. It's very endearing. Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. I watch Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us. I have another request. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today? Why's that? A little bit easier on my back. I can read with my back against the wall rather than bending over at my desk. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize. No worries. I just have back pain fairly regularly. I do my best to manage it. Is that so? I wonder why that is. It's most likely because your posture, right? Always hunched over like that while reading? Yeah. I have terrible reading posture. That's why we should sit on the floor. Fair enough. I'll go ahead and get the book. I retrieved the book from my bag. I have some chocolate as well. It's a bag of small chocolate candies that I kept hidden from Sayori's candy radar. I take it since it'll go well with the tea. Yuri and I then sit against the wall, teacups at our sides. As if in sync, we assume the same reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book. Except this time, our bodies are even closer to each other. I can't see too well. Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? Yuri was always kind of cute, but when she's being less apprehensive, it's almost more than I can handle. Your teacup. Yuri hands me my teacup. Holding it with my hand that's not holding the book, I end up in a position that makes it even harder to focus. Because now I need to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her chest. Actually, I don't touch her D's nuts. Ha! Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I use all of my willpower to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally manage to relax a little. Put the teacup between my legs and fumble with the chocolate wrapper. Ah, sorry. I briefly let go of the book to finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want. Ah, that's okay. I won't take any. Are you sure? Well, if I touch it, then it might get smudges on the pages. Ah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. My bad. No need to apologize. I'll hold the book, okay? Are you sure? Of course. Yuri opens the book with both hands. She holds it so that I don't have any harder of a time reading from it. But as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. My leg! Well, in that case, Yuri is totally focused on reading again. Ah! Controller is disconnecting and reconnecting. Hang on. You guys like this so far? I kind of feel like it's a lot of buildup, right? I take a chocolate candy and pop it into my mouth. Then I take another chocolate and I hold it up to Yuri. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if the situation was completely natural. But that means I can't stop here. I apprehensively place the chocolate in her mouth. That's not how you put a chocolate in someone's mouth. It's like, just like that, Yuri closes her lips over it. Yuri's expression suddenly breaks. Did I just... Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened. Sorry. I guess I shouldn't have done that. Well, you were just helping. That's something that friends do, right? I mean, not really in this kind of context, but... Yeah. That's all it was. Yeah. Then, you don't need to stop or anything. I see. The situation has gotten really tense. Yuri tries to return to the book, but I can tell just by her expression that she can't focus now. My heart is pounding. Gadong, doki doki, doki doki, doki doki. I nervously take another chocolate between my fingers, but this time Yuri's eyes meet mine. How did it even come to this? Yuri doesn't avert her gaze. I notice her chest rising and falling to the rhythm of her breaths. Breaths. I raise my arm. Like before, Yuri parts her lips, but it's different this time. I take the chocolate and place it in her mouth. I feel her hot breath on my fingers. Ugh. Did my controller just disconnect again? It fucking did. God damn it. Awkward timing, of course, right? Come on, connect. This is annoying. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. Pull the plug on the battery. I mean, for all intents and purposes, I could wire this controller. I just wanted to be able to, like, kick back and not really have to think about leaning on a keyboard, you know what I mean? Why is this doing this? Give me a second. Oh, shit. Was that supposed to happen? Give me 2 seconds. Sorry, I'm back. I have to wire the damn thing. I don't know if the batteries I got in it were dead or if it's just something stupid with Bluetooth that's not working. We'll figure it out. Okay, that's enough, everyone. Oh, what? Yuri Jolt's back. It's time to share poems. You know, Yuri put away the tea stuff, right? Yeah, of course. Okay, thanks. The spell is abruptly broken. I'll take care of the cups. Yeah. Yuri picks up the teacups from the floor. I pick up the bag of chocolates. In the end, we hastily clean up without so much as a word between us. I get the feeling that this is something neither of us will have the courage to bring up. Duh, Yuri. Let's see what you've written for today. Yuri stares at the poem with a surprised expression on her face. Do you like it? This one might be even better than yesterday's. How did you even pick up on this so quickly? Just yesterday, I was telling you the kind of techniques worth practicing. Maybe that's why. You did a good job explaining. I really wanted to try giving it more imagery. Yuri visibly swallows. Oh. Her hands appear sweaty, knees weak, palms spaghetti. I'm not used to this. Used to what? I don't know. It's fine, take your time. Yuri breathes and collects her thoughts. I know that Yuri likes to think before she speaks, so I offer that patience to her. Yeah, just being appreciated like this, I guess. It probably sounds really stupid, but seeing someone motivated by my writing just makes me really happy. Are you saying you've never shared your writing before? Yuri nods. Really? I don't believe it. I really only write for myself. And besides, people would just laugh at me. Do you really think that? Again, Yuri nods. Huh. Even your close friends? Yuri doesn't respond to that. I wonder why. Anyway, do you want to share the poem you wrote today? Yeah, I do. If it's with you. The Raccoon. It happened in the dead of night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught off by the scuttering of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies as an unordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of my bread. My subconscious well aware of the consequences. Well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom. The bread, my hungry curiosity, the raccoon an urge. The moon increments its phase and reflects that much more light off of my cutting knife. The very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread, fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited. Or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions onto the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon is taken to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. This raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement. A rush of blood. Classic Pavlovian conditioning. I slice the bread, and I feed myself again. Fucking evil. There's a little more daring with this one than yesterday's. I can see that. It's a lot more metaphorical. I don't know if it's my fault, but I can't begin to imagine what this poem is about. That's right. It's a bit closer to my preferred writing style. Using the poem as a canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them. Yeah, and if I take it at face value, then I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean. Well, I think it's something that different people can relate to in their own way. I wanted to express the way it feels for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. It's those sorts of things I'm usually forced to keep to myself. So, I sometimes enjoy writing about them. Why do you keep them to yourself? Because they're embarrassing. And people would make fun of me. Do you have anything like that? Well, yeah, I guess I do. I feel like everyone has a little something like that. The best we can do is respect each other and our individualities. Even if it's difficult sometimes, and some things make us uncomfortable. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I would probably hate myself. I might be ranting a little bit now, but I'm glad that you're a good listener. You're good at a lot of things. Writing, listening. There really aren't many people like you. That's exaggerating a little bit. It's just how I feel. I never thought I would feel so comfortable sharing my writing, but now I almost feel like I look forward to it. It's just a really nice feeling. And you're to thank for that. It's nothing, really. Yuri smiles sincerely at me. Just for a moment, our timidness seems to disappear. I'm gonna do something right quick, guys. I'm gonna turn the volumes down a little bit. Sayori. Make sure to save my game too. Ooh, I like this one. It has some nice feelings in it. Ah, I'm glad. Does that mean it's better than yesterday's? Let me think. I don't know. I guess I like them both. That's not very helpful, you know. Well, I'm not very good at figuring out if poems are good or bad. That's why I just go by my heart. If it makes me feel things, then it must be a good poem. I'm not sure that's exactly how it works. Then again, I guess conveying feelings is a pretty important part of this whole thing. Yeah, maybe. Honestly, I don't even know what kind of writing you like in the first place. Yeah, me neither. Why don't you at least try giving it some thought? Oh, you want me to write something for me? That's so sweet. Yeah, right. But you're always thinking about other people. You need to think about yourself once in a while. And if you don't, you might end up getting hurt at some point. Well, I don't really know what you mean, but I'll try to keep it in mind. Well, whatever. Anyway, let's see. I guess I like happy poems. Wait, sometimes I like sad poems too. Sometimes a little bit of both. There's a word for that, right? What's the word I'm looking for? Bittersweet. Yeah. I like things that are happy and things that are sad. Happy and sad? I can't see you liking something sad, Sayori. Well, I like happy the most. But sometimes when you have a little rain cloud in your head, a sad poem can help give the rain cloud a little hug. And make a nice happy rainbow. That's unexpectedly poetic. It is? Maybe I'm getting better at expressing my feelings after all. Thanks. I should go write that down then. You can read my poem now, okay? Okay. Bottles. I pop off my scalp like the lid of a cookie jar. It's the secret place where I keep all of my dreams. Little balls of sunshine, all rubbing together like a bundle of kittens. I reach inside with my thumb and forefinger and pluck one out. It's warm and tingly. But there's no time to waste. I put it in a bottle to keep it safe. And I put the bottle on the shelf with all of the other bottles. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts. Happy thoughts and bottles all in a row. My collection makes me lots of friends. Each bottle is starlight to make amends. Sometimes my friend feels a certain way. Down comes a bottle to save the day. Night after night, more dreams. Friend after friend, more bottles. Deeper and deeper my fingers go, like exploring a dark cave, discovering the secrets hiding in the nooks and crannies. Digging and digging, scraping and scraping. I blow dust off my bottle caps. It doesn't feel like time elapsed. My empty shelf could use some more. My friends look through my locked front door. Finally, all done. I open up and in come my friends. And they come in such a hurry. Do they want my bottles that much? I frantically pull them from the shelf, one after the other, holding them out to each and every friend, each and every bottle. But every time I let one go, it shatters against the tile between my feet. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts in shards all over the floor. They were supposed to be for my friends who aren't smiling. They're all shouting, pleading, something, but all I hear is echo, 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 inside my head. Holy fuck! sax time. Poetry. I don't know. Maybe I should read some shit to people. Holy crap. Sayori, did you really write this? Of course I did. Didn't I tell you yesterday I was going to write the best poem ever? Yeah, but I mean, I didn't expect something like this coming from you. Monica taught me a whole lot. I've been really in touch with my feelings recently. I see that. It's almost kind of creepy. Creepy? Well, not exactly. Maybe because I'm so used to being cheerful. Well, never mind. I'm thinking too hard about it. The point is it came out good, so you should be proud of it. Aw, thanks. I feel like I was meant to express myself this way. It even helps me understand my own feelings a little bit better. Writing is like magic. You've gotten pretty passionate about this, huh? I hope you keep it up. Yeah, writing's the best. I'm gonna keep writing until I die. Don't get ahead of yourself. Sayori's had a bad habit of getting obsessed with something before dropping it no more than a week later. I wonder if this is one of those times. But seeing the passion in her eyes makes it hard for me to be pessimistic. Natsuki. I liked your last one better. Really? Well, yeah, I could tell you were a little more daring with this one. But you're really not good enough for that yet. It fell flat. That may be true, but I just wanted to try something different. I'm still figuring this all out. I mean, I always like poems that aren't trying too hard. I hate when people try to sound fancy or add more meaning just by using annoying and complicated language. Just make it simple, cute, and to the point. Yuri's head over heels for all this cryptic nonsense, but I see right through that BS. Ha! Making your reader look so hard for all this deep meaning is just an excuse to have no meaning at all. I guess that's one way to look at it. Well, everyone has their own opinion. Hey! How's it going? How have you been? Wife, I need translation. But my opinion is the best opinion. I'm sure you figured that out already. Anyway, here's my poem. Maybe you'll learn something. Amy likes spiders. You know what I heard about Amy? Amy likes spiders. Icky, wriggly, hairy, ugly spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a cute singing voice. I heard her singing my favorite love song. Every time she sang the chorus, my heart would pound to the rhythm of the words. But she likes spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her. One time, I hurt my leg really bad. Amy helped me up and took me to the nurse. I tried not to let her touch me. She likes spiders, so her hands are probably gross. That's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a lot of friends. I always see her talking to people. She probably talks about spiders. What if her friends start to like spiders too? That's why I'm not friends with her. It doesn't matter if she has other hobbies. It doesn't matter if she keeps it private. It doesn't matter if it doesn't hurt anyone. It's gross. She's gross. The world is better off without spider lovers. And I'm gonna tell everyone. Fuck spiders, man. Not bad, right? It's quite a bit longer than yesterday's. Yesterday was way too short. I was just warming up. I hope you didn't think that was the best I could do. No, of course not. Anyway, the message is pretty straightforward in this poem. I doubt I had to explain it. Sometimes you could explain complicated issues with much simpler analogies, and it helps people realize how stupid they're being. Like anyone would argue, or anyone would agree. Like anyone would agree that the subject of this poem is an ignorant jerk. Do you know people like that? Of course, it's about how everyone thinks That doesn't matter. It could be about anything. I wrote it to be easy to relate to. Everyone has some kind of weird hobby or a guilty pleasure. Something that you're afraid if people find out they'd make fun of you or think less of you. But that just makes people stupid. Who cares what someone likes as long as they're not hurting anyone and makes them happy? I think people really need to learn to respect others for liking weird things. Huh. That's funny. Yuri wrote something similar today. Huh?
Did you say Yuri? Yeah. She said her poem was about an unusual hobby of hers. I don't really get it, but she said something similar to you. That people should make each other feel insecure, shouldn't make people feel insecure about those things. Really? Well, I mean, Yuri's pretty weird, so I wouldn't doubt that she has some weird hobbies. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's not like I would judge her or anything. Natsuki has trouble finding words. I guess I should try not to be so mean to her. If she feels insecure about her weird behaviors and stuff. I mean, I always say people make me feel insecure. And Yuri made me feel insecure yesterday. But the way you put it, it sounds like she's learned her lesson. Well, I would say so. Even if her writing style is really different, I'm sure she'll appreciate the message in your poem. It's what I do best, after all. I don't like writing unless there's a good message to take away from it. Like, conveying emotions is important, but I want to make people think, not just feel. Remember that. I'm going to write a good one for tomorrow, too, so look forward to it. I couldn't think of the words I was trying to read. Hi again. How's the writing going? All right, I guess. I'll take that. As long as it's not going bad. I'm happy that you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece. Nah, I wouldn't count on that. You never know. You want to share what you wrote for today? Sure, here you go. I gave my poem to Monica. All right, this one's good. It feels like you're not only getting more comfortable with your style, but the imagery is better than the last one I read. Just wondering, have you been finding inspiration in Yuri's writing style? I guess so. Can't deny that she's talented. Yeah, totally. I think her poems are the most romantic. That's the best way to describe it. She's like a totally different person when she picks up a pen. I noticed that too. Or when she's talking about literature. It's like the light turns on inside of her. Sadly, it's hard to get much personal conversation out of her. Trust me, I've tried. Who knows what goes inside that head of hers? I hope you don't mean that in a bad way. No, of course not. I just meant that I wish I didn't keep so much. She didn't keep so much to herself. But still, defending her like that, you must be pretty into her. You completely misunderstood. Ah, calm down. I'm kidding. Besides, I'm pretty sure she's already got a boyfriend. Wait, really? Yeah, a fictional one anyway. Monica kind of whispers that last part to me. It's just a hunch, but... Well, there's not really anything wrong with that. Oh, well, I know. I was just saying... But anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. All right, let's take a look. Save me. The colors, they won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors. Flashing, expanding, piercing. Red, green, blue. And endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise, it won't stop. Violent, grating waveforms. Squeaking, screeching, piercing. Sine, cosine, tangent. Like playing a chalkboard on a turntable. Like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust. An endless poem of meaningless. Load me. Is she a machine? Is she a machine? Is she a fucking robot? Wait. 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 Is she a robot? It's even more abstract than your last one, huh? I guess it's just the way I write. I'm sorry if you don't like it. No, I never said that. It's just a kind of thing I've never really seen before, I guess. I kind of like playing with the space, with my space on the paper. MySpace, Tom from MySpace. Sorry. Choosing where and how to space your words can totally change the mood of the poem. It's almost like magic. The way I wrote the lines really short makes it feel like they're trying to speak over the noise. I see. It's still hard for me to tell what it's about, though. Sometimes asking what a poem isn't the right question, blah. A poem can be as abstract as a physical expression of a feeling, or a conversation with the reader. So putting it that way, not every poem is about something. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. What? Is shit about to go down? I actually forgot for a minute I was playing a horror game. Okay. We saved. You never know when you might change your mind. Or when something unexpected may happen. Wait, is this tip even about writing? What am I even talking about? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Okay, everyone. We're all done reading each other's poems, right? I have something extra planned today, so if everyone could come sit down at the front of the room. Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. Do we really have to do something for the festival? And it's not like we can put together anything good in just a few days. What if we end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members? That's a concern of mine as well. I don't really do well with last-minute preparations. Don't worry so much. We're going to keep it simple, okay? We don't need much more than a few decorations. Sayori has been working on the posters, and I've designed some pamphlets we can give out during the event. Okay, that's great and all, but that doesn't tell us what we're actually going to be doing for the event. Ah, sorry. I thought you heard about it already. We're going to be performing. Performing? Monica. Yeah, we're going to have pretty poetry performance. Each of us are going to choose a poem to recite during the event. But the cool part is, we're also going to let anyone else come up and recite poems too. Sayori's putting it all on the posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time. Sayori, who's been coloring a poster, holds it up for us to see. Are you kidding me, Monica? You didn't already start putting those posters up, did you? Well, I did. Do you really think it's that bad of an idea? Well, no. It's not a bad idea, but I didn't sign up for this, you know? There's no way I'm going to be performing in front of a group of people like that. I agree with Natsuki. I could never in my life do something like that. Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear. Guys, no, Sayori. I understand where they're coming from. Remember that Natsuki and Yuri have never shared their poems with anyone until just a couple of days ago. It's a lot to ask for them to recite their poems out loud to a whole room full of people. I guess I kinda overlooked that. So, I'm sorry. But, I still think we should give it our best. We're the only ones responsible for the fate of this club. If we start the event and each put on a good performance, then it'll inspire others to do the same. Okay, I need a minute. Shit, dropping stuff. How do I pause the fucking game? I don't know. Guys, if you give me 5 minutes, I'll be back in a few. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm back. Yeah! It's about expressing your feelings, being intimate with yourself. Hope everyone had a good break. I need to take a quick minute. Finding new horizons and having fun. That's right. And it's those reasons we're all in this club today. Don't you want to share with others? To inspire them to find the same feeling that brought you here in the first place? I know you do. I know we all do. And if all it takes is standing in front of the room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it. What's wrong with Yuri's face? I keep looking at it. Natsuki and Yuri remain silent. Sayori looks worried. I guess that leaves me no choice. I agree. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think that Sayori and Monica have been really trying hard to get new members. The least we can do is help them out a little bit. Well, maybe, but it looks like Natsuki doesn't have any arguments left. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just have to get over it. All right. Whew. Thanks, Natsuki. What about you, Yuri? Yuri dejectedly glances around at everyone else's expectant faces. I guess I don't really have much of a choice. Aha, that's everyone. You're the best, Yuri. This club is seriously going to be the death of me. Oh, gosh. You'll be fine, Yuri. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. I want each of you to choose a poem of yours, and we're going to practice reciting them in front of each other. No way. Monica, this is too sudden. Well, if you can't recite your poem in front of the club, how do you expect to do it in front of strangers? Oh, no. Don't worry. I'll start off to help everyone feel a little more comfortable. Can I go next? Ah, of course. Now, let's see. Monica flips through her notebook to the specific poem she has in mind for herself. She then stands behind the podium. The title of this poem is The Way They Fly. Monica begins reciting her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, her inflection is pristine. She knows exactly how to apply emotion behind each line that she recites, bringing the words to life. Monocle. This is something she's done before. Or she's simply a natural. I glance around me. Everyone has their eyes on Monica. Sayori looks amazed. Yuri has an intense expression on her face that I don't understand. Finally, Monica finishes the recitation. The four of us applaud. Monica takes a breath and smiles. That was so good, Monica. Thank you very much. I was just hoping to set a good example. Are you ready to go next, Sayori? I'll go next. Yuri's fired up all of a sudden. Yuri clutches a sheet of paper between her hands and stands up. Keeping her head down, she walks quickly over to the podium. This poem is called... Yuri anxiously glances at each of us. You can do it, Yuri. It's called After Image of a Crimson Eye. Yuri's voice shakes as she starts reading the poem. Just a moment ago, she practically refused to do this. Why is she suddenly putting in so much effort? As Yuri gets past the first couple of lines, her voice changes. It's almost like what happens when Yuri gets absorbed into her books. Her quivering words transform into the sharp syllables of a fierce and confident woman. The poem is full of twists and turns in its structure that she enunciates with perfect timing. This must be a rare glimpse into the whirling fire Yuri keeps concealed inside her head. Suddenly, she's finished. Everyone is stunned. Yuri snaps back into reality. Oh, so mad, sorry, and glances around her as if she's bewildered even herself. It's up to me to save the situation. I'm the first to start applauding. Everyone joins me afterwards, and we give Yuri the recognition she deserves. It's not that we didn't want to applaud for her, but we were caught off so off guard that we must have forgotten. As we applaud, Yuri holds the poem to her chest and runs back into her seat. Yuri, that was really good. Thank you for sharing. Looks like Yuri is down for the count. Okay, I guess I'm next then. Sayori hops out of her chair and cheerfully walks to the podium. This one's called My Meadow. Sorry, I giggled. Sayori, it's a lot harder than I thought. How did you guys do it so easily? Try not to think of it like you're reciting to other people. Imagine you're reciting it to yourself. like in front of a mirror or in your own head. It's your poem, so it'll come out the best way. I see. Okay then. Sayori begins her poem. Somehow it feels like her soft voice was made as a perfect match. The poem isn't aimlessly cheery like Sayori is. It's serene and bittersweet. If I were to read this on paper, I probably wouldn't think much of it. But hearing it come from Sayori's voice almost gives it a whole new meaning. Maybe this is what Sayori meant when she said she likes my poems. It's like I get to reach more deeply into someone I thought I knew through and through. Sayori finishes, and we applaud. I did it! Good job, Sayori. Even Alex liked it. I guess that's a good sign. What does that even mean? It came out nicely, Sayori. The atmosphere of the poem fits you really nicely. But it might be that other poems wouldn't work quite as well with that kind of delivery. I don't really understand. In other words, I've seen poems of yours where that sort of gentle delivery wouldn't work as well. They might need a little more force behind them, depending on what you're reading. Oh, I know what you mean. I've been practicing that kind of thing. It's just embarrassing to do in front of everyone. The next time, I'm going to make you pick a poem that challenges you a little more. We don't have much time before the festival, you know. Okay. Now, who's next? Natsuki? Don't make me go before him. It's not like I can compare to you guys anyway. Might as well let him lower everyone's standards a little before I have to do it. Natsuki. It's fine. I might as well get it over with. But it's not like I have much of a selection of what to read. I'll just have to go with what I wrote for today. I stand up and step in front of the podium. Everyone has their eyes on me, making me feel terribly awkward. I recite my poem. Since I'm not exactly confident in my own writing, it's hard to put energy into it. Despite that, once I finish, I receive applause anyway. Sorry, I'm not really good as everyone else. Don't worry about it so much. I think it's less about your abilities and more about your lack of confidence in your writing. That's something that'll improve over time, though. Yeah, maybe. Alright then, that just leaves you, Natsuki. Yeah, I'm going. Natsuki begrudgingly gets out of her seat and makes her way to the podium. This poem is called... Why are you all looking at me? Because you're presenting. Anyway, the poem is called Jump. Might well jump. Jump! When she starts reciting the poem, her sour attitude disappears a little. While she's still a little untethered or unenthused, her poem has a rhythm and rhyme to it. Hey, Shaded, how's it going? It's Natsuki's trademark style, and it works surprisingly well when spoken aloud. The words feel like they bounce up and down as if giving life to the poem. Natsuki finishes, and everyone applauds. She huffs back to her seat. That wasn't so bad, was it? Easy for you to say. You better not make me do that again. Yeah, well. Do you at least feel prepared enough to recite a poem in front of the other people? I mean, doing it in front of other people will be way easier. I could put on whatever face I want for other people. But when it's just my friends, it's just embarrassing. That's a surprise, Natsuki. I think it would be the other way around for me. Well, that's just how it is, so... Well, I guess in that case, you won't have much to worry about for the festival. That said, I want to thank everyone for coming through. It might be hard, but I hope that you'll all have an idea of what it's like now. Make sure you pick a poem and get enough practice before the festival, okay? I'll be making pamphlets, so let me know ahead of time what you'll be reciting. Jeez, I should probably find some other poem to recite instead. That's fine too. It doesn't have to be your own. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're putting on all this effort for the club. It makes me really happy. Yeah, no problem. Okay, everyone. I think that's about it for today. I know the festival is coming up, but let's try to write poems for tomorrow as well. It's been working out really nicely so far, so I'd like to continue that. As for the festival, we'll finish planning tomorrow, and then we'll have the weekend to prepare. Monday's the big day. Can't wait! I can do this. I can do this. All right. I stand up. There's no way I'll be able to find the same enthusiasm as Sayori and Monica, but I'll do my best to get through it. If it's for the sake of the club and impressing Monica, then I'll have to do my best. Ready to go, Sayori? Yep. Look at you two always going home together like that. It's kind of adorable, isn't it? Geez, guys. Don't make it such a big deal out of it. It must be a little nice, though. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? It's okay. You don't have to say it. Whatever. Let's go already. I walk home with Sayori once more. Even though it's only been a few days, a lot of things have already changed. But today, Sayori is being a little quieter than usual on the way home. Hey, Sayori. Sorry, I was spacing out. No wonder. I was thinking about something from earlier. I like how we get to I mean, Sayori fumbles with her words. So let's just say that one day Yuri asks to walk home with you. Huh? What'd you do? What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here. Well. Oh boy, this is tough. Because it's like a tradition with this person, but like, it's not like we're committed to this person. I'd walk home with Yuri. Walking home with Yuri, huh? Why does the thought of that make my heart pound? I mean, given how hard it is for her to socialize, I would feel awful turning her down, so... Isn't she so beautiful and smart? That has something to do with what I just said. Ah, you admitted it. Jeez. There's not even any point in speculating something that's ever going to happen. Well, maybe. But I just like to think about it. It's not long before you won't need me anymore, you know? Need you? Sayori. I can't figure out how you're seeing things in your head right now. Sorry. Everyone is different. Nobody in the club is a replacement for you. If you say so. Sorry, I'm also trying to charge my vape. Me vape. The conversation trails off, and I'm left feeling awkward. But it was kind of her fault for trapping me with such a weird question. I can't just lie to her. But if there's something that makes her happy, I would hate to take that away from her. That's why I said there's no point in speculating. Then again, the festival is only a few days away. Who knows what will happen in that time? I hiccuped. And I burped. Excuse me, sorry. Time for another poem, baby! I dropped something and I don't know what. I have no idea what just fell off of me. I need a second. I don't know if it was something I needed, but something like fell off of me. Like quite literally just fell off. I don't know what it was. Yeah, well, whatever. All right. Fireworks, darkness. Passion, bunny, warmth, disoriented, time, vertigo. Calm, peaceful, comfort, flee, whistle, dazzle, sweet, jump, ocean, infallible. Tragedy, entropy, meager, hop, shopping, sparkle, determination, breathe, amazing, happiness, meager. Headphones, childhood, captive, tenacious, cage, candy, existence, depression, lust, playground, existence. Parfait, nature, lucky, incapable, atone, dance, portrait, jumpy, rainbow, suicide, atone. Bouncy, romance, excitement, death, alone, shiny, strawberry, nibble, color, dream. I almost said nipple. Alone. Charm, forgive, intellectual, uncontrollable, fear, vacation, bed, kawaii, boop, ribbon, intellectual, unrestrained, lipstick, cheeks. Captain!
Yeah?
Reaper! Raiding with a party at 2. How you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing good. Graveyard. We're playing a horror game. I still don't see this being a horror game. After image, clouds, Papa, nightgown, landscape, covet, twirl, vivacious. Friend, sunset, imagination, infinite, swimsuit, unending, rose, sensation. Analysis, doki doki. Raindrops, milk, pure, broken, lazy, essence, heaven sent. Massacre. Hope, scars, melancholy, electricity, explode, awesome, sing, crimson. My name is Alex, for those who don't know me. I do a lot of things. I play games, I 3D print. We're playing horror games for the month of October. This is a horror game. I have yet to see what's going on. Valentine, summer, bliss, special, hopeless, extreme, disaster, rain cloud, party, starscape, insight, cry family, despite, insight, frightening, memories, effulgent, blanket, grief, pain, universe, precious aura, tears, email, horror, journey, vibrant, philosophy. Sure. How was your stream, buddy? What were you playing? Were you playing more Fairy Tale? Aw, man. I'm the last one here again. Don't worry, I just walked in too. Were you practicing piano again? Yeah. You must have a lot of determination. Starting this club and now picking up piano? Well, maybe not determination, but I guess passion. Remember that the club wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. And I'm super happy that you're all willing to help out for the festival, too. I can't wait for the festival. It's gonna be great. Weren't you complaining about it just yesterday, Natsuki? Well, yeah. I'm not talking about our part of the festival, but it's a whole day of school where we get to play and eat all kinds of delicious food. You sound a bit like Sayori all of a sudden. Monica, do they usually have fried squid? Squid? That's a pretty specific thing to look forward to. No, come on. Are you saying that you don't like squid? You of all people? I didn't say I don't like it. Besides, what do you mean by you of all people? Because it's right in your name. Monica. That's not how you say my name at all. It's all that. Also, that joke makes no sense in translation. Huh? Never mind. She very fourth wall breaky. Playing Devil May Cry 3? Nice. 4 days ago, my second day of Halloween stream just now. Fuck yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie. Fried calamari's damn good. Yeah. Oh, it's good. Let's just focus on our own event for now, okay? Fine. Your reactions aren't as fun as Yuri's or Sayori's anyway. Excuse me. Where is Sayori anyway? Oh, there you are. Sayori's sitting at a desk in the corner of the room looking down at nothing. I walk over to her. Hey, Sayori. I wave my hand in front of her face. You're spacing out again. Sorry. Don't mind me. You can go talk to everyone else. Huh. Is everything all right? Of course. Why wouldn't it be? It just feels like you're a little off. Sorry for assuming things. Geez, you worry too much about me. I'm fine, see? Sayori shows me a big smile. Don't let me distract you from having fun with everyone. Well, all right. If you say so. I worriedly glance at Sayori before turning back to everyone else. But the conversation is already dispersed, with everyone back at their usual activities. Maybe I should ask Monica if she's noticed something about Sayori recently. Since they've been preparing for the festival, they must be spending a lot of time together. I timidly approach Monica, who is shuffling through some papers at her desk. Hey, what's up? Hey, this might sound a little strange, but have you noticed anything up with Sayori recently? Anything up with her? In what way do you mean? Maybe I'm reading into it a little much, but she seems a bit downcast today. Oh, you think so? Can't say I've noticed anything about her. Monica peers across the room at Sayori, who is idly dragging a rubber eraser up and down her desk. Maybe there is something on her mind. But I'm surprised I'm not the one asking you. You certainly know her a lot better than I do. Yeah, but she's never really like this. She's always talked to me about things that bothered her, but this time when I asked her, she was really dismissive. Sorry, I know it's not your problem. I just wanted to ask if you knew anything, so I'll drop it now. No. It's important to me too. I mean, I'm also friends with her, and I also care about the well-being of my club members, you know? Maybe I'll try talking to her myself. Are you sure about that? She seemed like she wanted to be left alone. Are you for sure? Maybe she just has a hard time bringing it up with a person of interest. Person of interest? What do you mean by that? I'm saying that maybe the thing on her mind is you. Me? How on earth would you come up with that conclusion? Well, I probably shouldn't say so much, but Sayori talks about you more than anything else, you know? She's been so much happier ever since you joined the club. It's like an extra light was turned on inside of her. What? No way. Sayori is always like that. She's always been full of sunshine. It's not any different now than it has always been. You're so funny. Have you thought that maybe you've always seen her as so cheerful? Because that's how she is when she's around you? I said too much. I'm sorry. What do I know anyway? I didn't mean to jump to conclusions. You should just forget about what I said. I'll try to talk to her, so try not to think about it for now. Alright. Monica smiles meaningfully. I know she said to forget about it. But I already know that I won't be able to get her words out of my head. Let me catch up with chat. I'm so sorry, man. My day's really good. The Atlanta Falcons won today, off the next 4 days. Fuck yeah. And I got through my second day of Halloween stream just now. Hell yeah, man. Devil May Cry 3 was your stream. I ain't gonna lie, Fried Calamari is damn good. We did agree on that. It is really good. I'm glad you had a good day and are off for a while. The mask I wear is cool, guys, but damn, I wish the air supply behind it was a bit better. For the month of October, though, for the month of October. I mean, I think it's more important to be comfortable during your stream than to do it a certain way. Have you thought about, because, like, they're like the same material as a do-rag, but they're like a scarf mask. I've used them during the pandemic, and they're a lot more breathable. They're a little more lofty, which I think would be cooler for you, because they're not nearly as dense, and it's not super stylistic, but it can be in the realm of what you're trying to go for. I think, at least. I think looking into like a scarf mask, I think would look a lot better and probably feel a lot better too. Plus that it's not going to ride up, because I noticed, Reaper, in your stream that you were actually struggling a little bit with the mask because it was like going into your eye, and I'm like, damn, that has to be uncomfortable. And I dropped a fucking thing again because I can't not fidget with shit. For those who are curious, yesterday's stream, when I didn't figure out what I was printing, it was another Power Ranger ring. It was the Green Ranger like signet ring that I made, that I wear on my pinky, but I made it in the glow-in-the-dark filament in a larger size, and I totally can't wear it because it's still too small for me. But yeah, I'm printing that, and we are printing a Halloweeny kind of thing, but it's cute Halloween. But yeah, definitely look into one. They're really cheap. They're a lot cheaper, and they're a lot more comfortable, in my opinion. Just go on Amazon. I'm sure you can find them. I'll even see if I can't link you to one. Yeah, I have a gold ring that I printed that is just like the Green Ranger's power token or power coin, and I made another signet styled ring in the same, but it's glow in the dark, like it's like a starry sky filament, the stuff I'm doing right now. But I'm gonna continue. But I already know that I won't be able to get her words out of my head. Monica stands up from her desk and walks across the room where Sayori is sitting. I watch her kneel down next to Sayori and gently talk to her, but she's keeping her voice so quiet that I can't hear from her here, or can't hear her from here. I sigh and sit myself down. I know Sayori told me not to worry about her, and to have fun with everyone else. But that's impossible to do when she's behaving like this. Exactly how much do I care about her that I'm letting this weigh me down so much? Now it feels like I'm the one behaving out of the ordinary. There's nothing I can do besides wait for Monica. Why does it feel like I'm being watched? I glance around the room. Suddenly I notice Yuri peering at me from over her book. But she looks away just as quickly with a flustered look on her face. I realize that she won't get anywhere like this. I've never really seen Yuri approach anyone or start a conversation on her own accord. So I have no choice but to approach her myself. By now, it's a little easier for me to do that. I stand up from my desk and I sit one next to her own. I didn't mean to bother you or anything. Relax, you didn't even do anything. But I could tell that you wanted to be alone with your thoughts. Alone with my thoughts? How are you even able to tell that I was thinking like that? Well, it's something that I do a lot, so it wasn't hard for me to spot based on your posture and expression. Not that I was staring at you or anything. I didn't do anything creepy like that. In any case, I guess you were right. I'm sorry if I caused you any concern. Don't apologize. Your troubles are only the concern of those who will willingly share in that concern. Of course, there are certainly those who find the most comfort in keeping to themselves. But if you would prefer to share what's on your mind, then I'd be glad to listen. Ah, it's really not that big of a deal. I was just feeling a bit uneasy about Sayori. Sayori? Yeah, she seems a little off today, but when I asked her about it, she didn't want to admit it to me. So I can't help but wonder if something's happened to her. Oh? That's quite romantic. So sorry. I didn't mean to say something stupid. It's not that. I just didn't want you to misunderstand. Sayori and I have just been friends for a long time, that's all. Ah, I see. But perhaps it is unusual for her to be dismissive to you about her feelings. Or maybe I'm just reading into it a little too much. Hey, the world is full of meaning, often hidden deep beneath plain sight. And there are many untold mysteries behind every person, no matter how well you may know them. So you think that there may be something behind it after all? I think that Sayori is a very complex person. Her mannerisms on the outside don't always match what may be going on the inside of her head. And she may not always know what she wants. I noticed her strange behavior today too, and I also feel there's some concern for her. But in your case, it looked like she was fully occupying your thoughts, wasn't she? Well, I guess that was the case. Sayori. She really means a lot to you, doesn't she? I guess. But you don't need to put it that way. We're just good friends, that's all. Yuri suddenly looks deeply into my eyes. Her expression is gentle and curious, as if she was searching for something. Embarrassed, I avert my gaze. Sometimes, a person's mysteries are untold even to themselves. And you, as someone honest and caring, may uncover feelings you weren't aware were in you. That is, I think that she'd be a very fortunate person to have you feel that way about her. Yuri, you're giving me too much credit. I'm a pretty simple guy, so I think I'm pretty good at understanding my own feelings. I'm not nearly as sophisticated as you. That's not a compliment, is it? It is what it is. Anyways, as long as we're here, why don't we do some reading? Well, as long as you're okay with it. Yeah. I should be taking my mind off this whole thing anyway. Okay, everyone. After some time passes, Monica calls out to the club room. Why don't we share our poems now? Before I knew it, everything is back to normal. Everyone goes to retrieve their poems, and I do the same. I make eye contact with Monica, and she smiles at me. I wonder what she was talking about with Sayori. Who should I show my poem to first? I feel like we should talk to Sayori. We should show Sayori first. It's nice, I guess. Come on, I can already tell you don't like it. Well, you don't need to worry about what I think. After all, you wrote this for someone else, didn't you? Probably Yuri. Yeah? I didn't write this for anyone specifically. Maybe. That's not really what I meant, though. But it's okay. You're making new friends, just like I was hoping. That makes me really happy. And you're happy too, right? In this club? Well, of course I am. Good. That's all that matters to me. Thank you. Sayori. Is there something wrong? Huh? No, nothing. I'm just a little tired today. Alright. Just tell me if you need anything. I will. Don't worry about me, okay? You can go play with everyone else now. If you insist. Yay! I'm gonna go home a little bit early today. Sayori? Tell Monica I wasn't feeling well, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Before I can say anything else, Sayori cheerfully walks out of the classroom humming to herself. Okay, we're going to Yuri next. Your writing has only improved in these last few days. Every poem you've shown me has been nothing but short of spectacular. I can really feel the emotions. I'm a little envious, even. I don't think it ever came to me this naturally. Yuri, that's the wrong way to put it. This never did come naturally to me. But I've been able to improvise so much thanks to you. You're really the example I was chasing after. Is that so? Yuri gently smiles to herself. This feeling. I'm so glad I got the chance to share my writing. I never thought it would feel like this. I remember you mentioning that yesterday. I can't believe that you're so good at something and you've never even shared it with anyone. It's kind of a shame. Maybe, but it's not like I really had a choice. What do you mean? Well, Yuri smiles sadly. During lunchtime, I eat by myself. Did you know that? It's a great time to find a quiet spot and do some reading. In fact, I always have some books with me. You could say I really enjoy reading. Well, that's one way to put it anyway, but books are so full of amazing and inspiring people you want to fall in love with, or people you just know you would make a really good friend with. Cheerful people who always put a smile on your face, or deep thinkers and problem solvers who discover the mysteries of life. So when you look at it that way, I'm surrounded by friends every day, you know? And those friends don't laugh at me. They don't tease me for spacing out all the time. They don't make fun of my body type, and they don't hate me for acting like a know-it-all. People say that about you? I'm not a know-it-all. It's the opposite. I don't know anything. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to make people see me as normal. I don't even know how to make myself happy. I have all these feelings, and all I can do with them is read and write. But it wasn't until now that I started sharing it with you that I really understood what was missing all this time. But I haven't really done anything. No, that's wrong. Just being patient and respectful. That's really important to me. I know I'm a difficult person. I speak too slowly. I second guess myself all the time. I read too deeply into things. But every time, you've always treated me just like anyone else. It's so rare that I feel comfortable with myself when I talk to others. That's why every time I talk to you, I just feel really happy. I see. Well, I treat you how you deserve to be treated, Yuri. And if other people don't see it that way, then screw them. I mean, I joined this club hoping I'd make friends. And I would say I've had at least one success. Wouldn't you? If you put it that way, yeah. We really are friends now, aren't we? Yuri puts her head in her hands. But this time, she's smiling as she does it. You want to show me your poem? Yeah, I do. Let me get it for you. Ghost Under the Light, Part 2. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. In the distance, a blue-green light flickers. A lone figure crosses its path, a silhouette obstructing the eerie glow. My heart pounds. The silhouette grows. Closer, closer. I open my umbrella, casting a shadow to shield me from visibility. But I am too late. He steps into the streetlight, and I gasp and drop my umbrella. The light flickers. My heart pounds. He raises his arm. Time stops. The only indication of movement is the amber light flicking against his outstretched arm. The flickering light is in rhythm with the pounding of my heart, teasing me for succumbing to this forbidden emotion. Have you ever heard of a ghost feeling warmth before? Giving up on understanding, I laugh. Understanding is overrated. I touch his hand. The flickering stops. Ghosts are blue-green. My heart is amber. Finishing the poem, I start to hand it back to Yuri, but instead of taking it from me, she looks away. Do you dislike it? No, of course not. I just don't really know how I should respond. Despite Yuri's poems usually being cryptic, it wasn't hard to figure out what this one was about. I don't know if I'll be able to explain this one. That's fine. I understand this one. Yuri's having an even harder time speaking than usual. Does this one mean a lot to you? Yuri nods. I'm not really good with words, but I'm happy that you shared it with me. So, thank you. And I hope we keep spending time together. Despite my inability to make eye contact, I see a faint smile emerge on Yuri's lips. I once again try to hand the poem back to her, but instead, Yuri gently takes my hand and pushes them back towards me. I hesitate in response to her warm touch. You can, the poem is, once again, Yuri fails to form a complete sentence. Blech. You mean I can keep it? Yuri nods. I'd love to. Again, Yuri faintly smiles, as if she doesn't want me to notice. You always make me feel nice. I know I'm not good with people, but I hope that I can return the favor sometimes. Yeah, don't worry. I think you do a good job. Yuri finally turns back toward me. I guess we should move on before Monica says something. But I'm sure we could talk again later. Yeah, I'm sure we will. With that, Yuri timidly smiles at me, and I return to my seat so I can put her poem away. Who should I show my poem to next? Natsuki. Fuck it. Meh. I guess you really haven't learned anything after all. Honestly, I don't know why I got my hopes up in the first place. What? I didn't think this one was that bad. What did I do wrong? Poems don't need to be all deep sounding to express something. It's going to just sound like you're forcing it unless you really don't suck at it. Honestly, don't bother trying to write poems like this until you're on Yuri's level. Natsuki stops short all of a sudden. Don't tell me. You're not trying to impress Yuri, are you? What are you talking about? Keep your voice down. You know, Yuri would love this angsty. Just because she's a talented writer doesn't mean. It looks like I'm in trouble. I somehow struck a nerve, though what I did is beyond me. I'm so done with you. Natsuki shoves the poem I handed her back over to me. Take your stupid poem. If you wrote it for someone else, just don't show it to me. Ouch. This is what I get for letting a younger girl step into my business. Unless I was a mind reader, I was destined to be in a world of pain from the start. At least Natsuki wasn't really the girl I was trying to impress in the first place. Who should I show my poem to next? Monica. Of course, Monica. Hi! Have you thought about what you wanted to submit to perform at the festival? Well, being in this club is one thing, but performing in front of a bunch of people? I'll have to give it some more thought. Okay, no pressure. But whatever you do, I'm sure it'll turn out great. It would also make me happy to see. Anyways, let's look at today's poem. Sure. I let Monica take the poem I'm holding in my hands. Your style has gotten so refined. Yuri's been teaching you a lot of things, hasn't she? Well, I guess so. Yeah, I've been noticing how much time you spend with her. I think I've heard her say more words these past couple days than she's talked in the whole year. Not sure how you did it. That's pretty impressive. Well, she just needs some patience and a way to talk about all the things in her head, I guess. I'm still getting the hang of it myself. You're certainly putting in a lot of effort. You must really like her. That's awfully suspicious, you know. Spending time with her in the clubroom every day, reading that edgy novel with her. Well, I just feel bad that she has a hard time socializing. Makes me want to make sure she doesn't spend all of her time alone. Besides, the novel isn't too bad either, you know? All right, I get you. Just be careful, all right? I know that Yuri isn't used to opening herself up. So if something bad happens while she's vulnerable, then it could be really hard for her. Her books aren't a total escape from reality. They're just a bandage. You say that like I'm going to hurt her. Sorry, I didn't mean that. If anything, she might accidentally hurt herself. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you now, all right? All right. The Lady Who Knows Everything. An old tale tells of a lady who wanders earth. The lady who knows everything. A beautiful lady who has found every answer, all meaning, all purpose, and all that was ever sought. And here I am, a feather, lost adrift in the sky, victim of the currents of the wind. Day after day, I search. I search with little hope, knowing legends don't exist. But when all else has failed me, when all others have turned away, the legend is all that remains, the last dim star glimmering in the twilight sky. Until one day, the wind ceases to blow. I fall, and I fall and fall, and fall even more, gentle as a feather, a dry quill, expressionless. But a hand catches me between the thumb and forefinger, the hand of a beautiful lady. I look at her eyes and find no end to her gaze. The lady who knows everything knows what I am thinking. Before I can speak, she responds in a hollow voice. I have found every answer, all of which amount to nothing. There is no meaning. There is no purpose, and we seek only the impossible. I am not your legend. Your legend does not exist. And with a breath, she blows me back afloat, and I pick up a gust of wind. Beautiful! You know, I feel like learning and looking for answers are the sorts of things that give life meaning. Not to get too philosophical or anything, but it was kind of on my mind, so I thought that's what I wrote about. I see. I never really put much thought into it. In a way, it's almost paradoxical. Because if we had all the answers, wouldn't the world start to lose its meaning? You know, there's one thing I noticed. It seems like everyone in the club prefers writing about things that are more sad than happy. Are you surprised? I mean, if everything was okay, we wouldn't really have anything to write about, would we? Humans aren't two-dimensional creatures. Or they are two-dimensional creatures, sorry. I think you'd know that better than anyone. You mean one-dimensional? Yeah, that. There's like tinges of fourth wall breaking, and it's fucking creepy. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Are you ever too shy to share your writing because you're afraid it's not that good? It can be really disheartening to get a lukewarm response to something you put so much into. But if you find other people who enjoy writing, then sharing becomes a lot easier. Because instead of just telling you that your writing is good or okay or bad, they'll want to focus more on everything that went into it and the things you can work on. It's so much more encouraging that way, and it'll make you want to continue improving. It's almost like having your own little literature club, didn't you think? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Okay, you three. We're all done sharing poems, right? Why don't we start figuring out... Hold on a second. Is it just me, or did you say something strange just now? Something did sound a bit unusual. That's right. You deviated from your usual catchphrase when addressing the club. Catchphrase? I don't have a catchphrase. Jeez. Why is the mood so weird today? Look, even Yuri isn't immune to it. Stagnating air is common foreshadowing that something terrible is about to happen. Oh, fuck. In your books, maybe. Look, the only thing different is that Sayori isn't here. Ah, it seems you're right. Sayori always helps lighten the mood a little bit, doesn't she? It's almost like everyone's balance is thrown off a little when she's not around. Where the heck did she run off to, anyway? I thought she just went to pee. Natsuki, please show some decency. Oh, come on. Actually, she wasn't feeling too good and went home early. Is that so? I hope she's alright. Seriously? Of all times to not go home with her, you pick the time she's not feeling well? So much for you two being all lovey-dovey. No, first of all, stop misunderstanding my friendship with Sayori. And second, she's kind of been avoiding me today, so I didn't want to force it. Oh? That curious expression coming from Yuri, of all people. Calm down, guys. I talked to her earlier and everything's fine. What did she say? Anyway, we need to figure out the rest of the festival preparations, so... let's decide what everyone will be doing this weekend. I already know what I'm doing. That's right. Natsuki will be making cupcakes, but we might need a lot of them, and different flavors. Can you handle all that by yourself, Natsuki? Challenge accepted. As for myself, I'm going to be printing and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. Sayori will be helping me design them. As for Yuri, you can, guys, can you help me come up with something for Yuri? I'm useless. No, that's not it at all. You're the most talented person here, you know. Now Natsuki's pouting too? Jeez, even I can tell now. I guess I never gave Sayori enough credit, but I can tell things are even harder on you when she's not around. That may be the case, but if I can't also be a leader on my own, then I won't grow as a person. So, Yuri, you have a beautiful handwriting, you know? So you should make some banners and decorations to help set the atmosphere. Atmosphere? About that. I love atmosphere. Yuri's expression suddenly changes as she stares at her desk in focus and starts nodding to herself. Your mind is already racing, I see. That's great. You'll be a wonderful help, Yuri. But anyway, that just leaves you. The one who is truly useless. I don't say that. In fact, both Natsuki and Yuri have some pretty heavy tasks to handle. It'd probably go a long way to give one of them a hand. You could always help me out as well. I would be really appreciative of that. Is Monica suggesting I spend the weekend with one of my club members? How on earth are they going to respond to a suggestion like that? I suppose I wouldn't mind a bit of help. Well, even if you don't know how to bake, there's always some dirty work I could give to you. It's not like Monica's going to give me a choice, and you shouldn't be sitting on your butt anyway. Natsuki tries to mumble a bunch of excuses like that. If I recall, Natsuki, you mentioned that you would like to handle the baking on your own. He might not be around you if you only make him out to be a nuisance, so therefore, he may be more suited to assisting you with the decorations. Hold on, I never said that! How hard could it be to make a few decorations anyway? Sounds more like you're just making an excuse for him to... What are you saying? It will be extremely meticulous work. And baking isn't? Just what do you think? Guys! Let's settle down for a moment. In the end, I think it's up to Alex to decide whether he'd like to contribute. Besides, he hasn't really gotten a chance to spend any time with me yet, you know? So I'm sure he's interested in... You literally just said... I'm surprised as well. Sorry. I was just saying, though. Jeez. Can we just settle this already? Yeah. Alex, you're okay with this, right? In the end, it's up to you. Of course. Very well. In that case, everyone looks straight at me. But of course, I'm gonna go with... Oh, Sayori. We're gonna go with Yuri. Fuck it. Well, probably the most useful helping out Yuri. Me? Are you serious? Why would you... Natsuki? I can already tell you're about to say something mean. No, I was just saying... Ugh. So you'll be helping Yuri then? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm glad. I have a bad habit of overthinking these sorts of things, so I think your assistance will be very useful. That's great to hear. Atsuki, will you be able to handle the baking yourself? I mean, yeah. I already said I'd be fine. Okay. Everyone can tell that Natsuki's feeling a little sour. So, is that everything we need to go over? Yeah, should be about it. Are you guys excited? Well, excited may not be the right word, but I suppose I'm looking forward to it a little bit. Do you feel the same way, Alex? Me? I guess you could say I'm interested to see how it'll turn out. That's good enough for me. What about you, Natsuki? Natsuki, what? Why is everyone yelling at me? I didn't even do anything. No, that's not what I meant at all. Yuri anxiously glances between everyone in the room. I'm sorry for this. I didn't really know that Alex was going to pick me. And also, the cupcakes are the best cupcakes I've ever had. They go really well with my tea. And nothing that I do for the event will compare to that, so I get it. Kind of surprised, though. Why? Well, I'm the one acting immature, I already know that. But you're trying to cheer me up all of a sudden. I know I'm not very good at it. Sorry if I said something bad. Natsuki isn't the only one surprised. Monica and I are also taken aback by Yuri's words. When she already has trouble with words, trying to cheer somebody up must be far out of her own comfort zone. But I begin to understand. Yuri was trying to sound like Sayori. Even if it didn't work perfectly, I can tell that she tried to say something Sayori would say at a time like this. Because Sayori always helps everyone smile and feel good about themselves. No, I kind of appreciated it. I'm sorry for making a big deal out of nothing. But I'm going to say this. You better bet that my cupcakes are going to be the best part of the whole event. I believe you. Yeah! I hope to see everyone do their best. But with that, there's nothing more for the day, so I guess it's time for us to head out. Alright, let's get out of here then. Everyone packs up their things, and I start to follow Monica and Natsuki out the doors as they chat between each other. Huh? I turn around. Sorry. I realized that I don't have any way of contacting you this weekend. Oh, you're right. I can't believe that slipped my mind. I should give you my phone number. I think that would be the best way, yeah. Alright then. Yuri and I exchange phone numbers. Okay. Then I'll be stopping by your house on Sunday. My house? Is that a problem? No, not at all. I just thought that I would be the one going to your house since I'm the one helping you. I suppose that makes sense. But if you don't mind, I think I would prefer going to your house. Alright, in that case, that won't be a problem. I decided not to press Yuri for a reason. It's not like it shouldn't matter much either way, so I'll just need to make sure my room is clean. I hope I managed to make myself useful in some way. I'm not nearly as creative as you are. Don't underestimate yourself. I think that will make a very productive team. Even if you only chose me because you felt bad or something. Wait, you don't actually think that, do you? I don't know. It's difficult to come up with any other reason you may have chosen me. You're forgetting the one person with the most common sense. I chose to help you because that's what I wanted to do. But Yuri thinks to herself with an extremely tense expression. Yuri, you're overthinking this. You wanted me to point out when you're overthinking, right? I didn't realize. I'm telling you, I want to. That's all there is to it. Do you believe me? Yuri thinks really hard again. She looked straight into my eyes for a long while. I believe you. As if it took her tremendous effort, Yuri finally says that and relaxes her expression. I'm really looking forward to Sunday. Yeah, I am too. After that exchange, I make my way out the door and Yuri follows. I need a sip of drinks. I can't believe this. Yuri's going to be coming to my house on Sunday? My anxiety shoots through the roof. Even though I've gotten pretty used to handling her at this point, there's no telling what might end up happening when we're outside of school. More than that, she told me she was looking forward to it. Is this the chance I have to make something happen between us? Or is it too early for that? Only time will tell. But until then, I won't be able to take my mind off of it. I seriously can't wait. It's already Sunday. I've been getting increasingly anxious about Yuri's upcoming visit. I keep telling myself there's no reason to be nervous, but it doesn't help much. Yuri's clearly an introvert and also an intimate person in general. There's no doubt that she'll open up a little bit when it's just the two of us. Meanwhile, we've been texting occasionally. She was extremely apprehensive at first, but it wasn't long before I was already learning more about her. But putting Yuri aside, I haven't heard anything from Sayori since she left the club early the other day. It's not like we text each other all the time or anything, but I've been worried about her in the back of my mind. Between what Sayori said and what Monica said, is it really okay for me to put Sayori's feelings aside when she might need me? I decide to visit Sayori before Yuri comes over. Rather than asking, I simply tell her I'm coming over, much like we've done in the past. Once I reach Sayori's house, I knock on the door before entering it myself. Again, we used to play so often that we made it a habit of simply entering each other's houses like we were family. The house is quiet. Oh, fuck. Sayori isn't anywhere on the first floor. So I assume she's up in her room. It's already strange of her not to run down and greet me. I head up to her bedroom, where I finally find her. Sayori? Hi! I sit down in her room. Okay, that was... Alright. It's a horror game. But I didn't know what was about to happen. Sayori forces a smile, but it's easy to tell that she's different. There's a minute of silence between us. You haven't come over like this in a long time, have you? I guess you're right. It's been a long time. Not much has really changed, has it? Sayori's room is as messy as it's always been. I also recognize the same stuffed animals and wall decorations that she's had for years now. If you came over more often, it wouldn't be in such a mess. That's because I end up cleaning it for you. How come you suddenly wanted to come over today? Aren't you supposed to see Yuri today? Yeah, but... Wait, how did you know that? Sayori had already left by the time we decided that last meeting. Monica told me. It's only natural for her to keep me informed about the festival preparations, right? Ah, that's true. But what about you? Aren't you going to be helping Monica today? Of course. I'm just helping her online. We didn't plan to meet up or anything. Ah, so it's just me and Yuri, then... Yep. There's more silence between us. Sayori stares in a random direction. Everything about her behavior is really uncharacteristic. I finally get to the point. I just wanted to see how you were doing. After you left on Friday, when something's wrong, you can't hide it from me. I know you too well. So, Sayori smiles, shaking her head. That's no good. Huh? Why can't it just be like it's always been? This is all my fault. If I didn't get so weak and accidentally express my feelings, if I didn't make that stupid mistake, then you wouldn't have been so worried about me at all. You wouldn't have come here. You wouldn't have even been thinking about me right now. But this is just my punishment, isn't it? I'm getting punished for being so selfish. I think that's why the world decided to have you come over today. It just wants to torture me. Sayori! I grab Sayori by the shoulders. What on earth are you saying? Are you listening to yourself right now? I know something happened to you. There's no other explanation for you to be like this. So tell me already. Until I know, I won't be able to stop thinking about it. Sayori gives me an empty smile. You really put me in a trap. But you're wrong. Nothing happened to me. I've always been like this. You're just seeing it for the first time. Seeing what? What are you talking about, Sayori? You're really just going to make me say it, aren't you? I guess I have no choice this time. Thing is, I've had a really bad depression my whole life. Did you know that? Why do you think I'm late to school every day? Because most days I can't even find a reason to get out of bed. What reason is there to do anything when I fully know how worthless I am? Why go to school? Why eat? Why make friends? Why make other people put their energy and caring to waste by having them spend it on me? That's what it feels like. That's why I just want to make everyone happy, without anybody worrying about me. I'm in shock. I can't even figure out how to respond. How is it possible that Sayori kept this from me the entire time that I've known her? Did she really want so badly for me to just not think about her? Why, Sayori? Huh? Why is it that you never told me about this? It almost feels like I've been betrayed as your close friend. Because if I knew, I would have done everything I could to support you. Even though there's only so much that I could do, I would have tried a little bit harder to make every day a little better for you. That's why I'm your friend. All you had to do was tell me. You don't understand at all. Why do you think I didn't tell you? Because if I told you, then you would have to waste effort caring about me instead of doing important things. I don't want to be cared about. It's bittersweet when people try to care about me. It feels nice sometimes, but it also feels like a bat being swung up against my head. That's why I wanted so badly for you to make friends with everyone else. Helping everyone be happy together is the best thing for me. But then, I discovered something else too. Seeing you make friends and get closer with everyone in the club feels like a spear going through my heart. So, that's why. That's why I decided the world just wants to torture me. Every path leads to nothing but hurt. You're right that I don't understand. I don't understand your feelings at all, Sayori. But I don't need to understand. Whatever it takes for me to help you stop hurting, that's what I'll do. No. There's nothing. Nothing at all. The only thing that could have helped is if everything could be like it always was. But I was selfish. I finally showed you what a horrible person I am. Excuse me. Tears streaked down Sayori's face. I made you join the literature club because I was selfish. And I was punished by my heart hurting in a way that I couldn't understand. And now you came here and I made you hurt too. I'm just weak and selfish. That's all I am. And that's why I'm going to accept these punishments. Because I deserve every last one. Without thinking, I once again grab Sayori's shoulders. This time I pull her into a tight embrace. Sayori, I don't care if you feel selfish. I'm really happy that you convinced me to join the club. Seeing you every day makes it worthwhile enough. If I make friends with everyone else, then that's just a bonus. But please, never underestimate how much I care about you. I wouldn't have it any other way. Sayori isn't hugging me back. Despite my arms being wrapped around her, Sayori's arms remain at her sides. She starts sobbing next to my ear. No, don't do this to me. Please don't do this. Sayori barely manages to speak a word between her sobs. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, but all I want is for her to know that I care. If you have it in you to call yourself selfish, then you have to let me be selfish too. No matter what it takes, I'll figure out what needs to change. I'll make these feelings go away. And if there's anything you need me to do, then you better tell me. I'll get mad if you don't. I don't know. I don't know. Gently, Sayori finally pulls her arms around me in return. I don't know anything. It's all really scary, and I don't understand any of my feelings. The only time I'm not feeling nothing is when I'm feeling pain, but your hugs are so warm, and that's really scary too. Sayori lets me go. As she does, I let her go as well. The festival is tomorrow. Yeah. It's gonna be fun, right? Yeah. How would you like for me to spend it all with you? It's what I want. I promise. I think that would be nice then. Yeah. Sayori wipes her eyes. If I could spend the whole day here, I would. Of all days, this has to be the one where I have other plans. Maybe I should cancel. No, don't. Please don't. If you do that, then I wouldn't forgive you. But it's almost time for Yuri to meet me at my house. At the very least, you want to come along and help out? It'd be fun. To my surprise, Sayori shakes her head. I'm sorry. I don't know if that would be very good for me today. You understand, right? It's kind of hard for me to fully understand it, but I'm trying my hardest. It's okay. Don't worry too much about it. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? All right. I look forward to it. I say goodbye to Sayori and exit her house. On the way home, I find myself feeling uneasy still. But it's hard for me to keep thinking about it when Yuri's about to come over too. I think Sayori's right. I shouldn't be worrying too much, and we're definitely going to have a great time tomorrow. I should just focus on what's ahead of me. As I approach my house, I see something that makes me feel a moment of panic. Yuri? Thank goodness. You're a little early. Sorry I wasn't home yet. Were you waiting for a long time? No, I just got here. But I started to get really nervous when nobody answered the doorbell. You always could have texted me. If I'd have known, I would have reassured you and hurried more on my way home. I suppose that's true. I didn't think of that for some reason. Should be common sense to do that, but I decided to ignore it. Anyway, let's go inside. Shit. I didn't read that. I accidentally hit the button too quick. Anyway, let's go inside. I see you brought a lot of stuff with you. That's right. Did you manage to find everything I asked you to buy as well? Yeah, pretty much. At least I hope I got everything right. I'm sure it'll be fine. I take Yuri to my room. First thing she does is glance around curiously, which makes me feel anxious. It's so clean. I cleaned it before you came over, so that's very considerate of you to do. No, it would be really embarrassing for my room to be a mess while you were here. Well, I do enjoy cleaning. I would have gladly helped you clean. That would be even more embarrassing. Wait, don't look in there. I snatched Yuri's wrist, which was in the process of opening a desk drawer of mine. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking for some reason. I was just spacing out. It's fine. It's fine. I let go of Yuri's wrist. She puts both of her hands firmly in her lap, as if making sure she's keeping track of them. So, should we get started? Yeah. I have a few things planned that you can help with. Decorations and other atmospheric enhancements. Atmospheric enhancements? You know, mood lighting, aromatherapy candles. Oh, wow. I didn't know you planned on taking it that far. Of course. I want to help take our guests to a faraway place. Although many will stop by out of just curiosity. And for cupcakes, I guess. I'm determined to prove an experience that will leave them wanting more. That's great. It's easy to forget that you're a pretty intense person. Intense? I guess it's the best way to put it. Is that a bad thing? No, not at all. It's something that I like about you, actually. Is that so? That makes me feel relieved. I'm kind of happy. Yeah, no need to be so anxious. Relax a little. Relax. I brought some things for relaxation. I was going to use them during the poetry event. Oh yeah? Like what? Let's see. Yuri rummages through her bag. She pulls out a few candles and a wooden cylinder-shaped object. I did some shopping on the way here, so I happen to have these in my bag. I plan to cover the windows in black paper and use the candles to light the room. I think that would be amazing, wouldn't you? Yeah, that'd be really neat. What's with the wooden thing, though? Oh, this? It's a diffuser for essential oils. How familiar are you with aromatherapy? Not familiar at all. Ah, is that so? It's one of my favorite contributors to a positive atmosphere. Depending on the oils or herbs you choose, you can change the mood of the air itself. You can even feel it permeate throughout your body. Relaxation, positive energy, romance, reflection. It's almost like magic. Yuri takes a cylinder and pushes a switch on the bottom. In just a moment, a thin ray of vapor begins to spout through a small hole in the top. Wow, that smells wonderful. What kind of mood is that one for? This is a jasmine essential oil. It smells a little sweet and flowery, right? Yeah, it's a good way to describe it. I chose jasmine for the event because it provides more than relaxation. Jasmine enhances your emotions and helps you feel them flow through your body. You feel warmer and your heart pounds more heavily. Do you think that'll be perfect for sharing our poems? That does sound suitable, but you seem to know a lot about this, so I'll trust your opinion with everything. Yuri smiles gently, clearly enjoying herself. She again reaches into her bag and pulls out several spools of ribbon. What are those for? Well, did you purchase the origami paper I asked you to get? Yeah, I have it over here. Won't be using the paper for folding origami. What I'd like to do is write a different word on each paper. We'll need about 100 of them. Oh, yeah? What will these be used for? Well, I'm going to cut pieces of ribbon to hang from the doorway of the classroom, then we can fasten the paper onto ribbons to create a doorway curtain. Wouldn't that be beautiful? It would also catch the eye of those passing by the room. It may attract some to peek inside. That's really creative. I had no idea you'd be so good at this, Yuri. Holy fuck. Is that so? Well, I suppose I do get a little intense, as you put it. Yuri giggles with red cheeks. Is it just me, or is she more relaxed when it's the two of us? Or maybe it's the excitement she feels from sharing something that she enjoys. Here's a marker. You can write any characters you want. I'll help you once I finish cutting the ribbons. Ah, alright. Sitting on the floor together, the two of us get to work. I carefully draw a different character on each paper, doing my best to manage my bad handwriting. Yuri unravels a long strand of red ribbon to her desired length. Then she reaches into her bag once more and pulls out a pocket knife. The knife is strangely beautiful. The silver handle has an intricate pattern of waves etched into it. The blade itself is gently tinted blue. That's no ordinary pocket knife. It looks really fancy. Well, embarrassed, Yuri looks away. What is it? You're going to think it's weird. Yuri, whatever it is, I have no reason to judge. To each their own, you know? If you promise you won't be weirded out. Yeah, I promise. Alright. Thing is, I'm kind of into knives. They're just so pretty. I can't help it. I don't know what this is. It's a combination of craftsmanship and feeling of danger, maybe? What am I saying? Please don't think I'm weird for this. You're laughing at me. No, I'm not laughing at you. It's just funny how nervous you got about sharing. It's, well, an interesting thing to be into, I guess. But I think it kind of suits you. Suits me? Yeah, it's kind of intense. Besides, it's a really cool looking knife. I can't deny that. It is, isn't it? Yuri relaxes her expression once again. Would you like to hold it? Sure, I'll check it out. Yuri carefully hands me the knife with the handle facing me. I take it and turn it around in my hands. It feels heavy and extremely solid. Where do you even get a knife like this? Curious of its sharpness, I felt the point of the knife with my index finger. Ow! Hey! Why'd you do that? I didn't expect it to be that sharp. I barely touched it at all. It's my fault. I should have warned you. The knife is extremely sharp. It can cut through skin like it's paper. Oh no. A small drop of blood trickles down the side of my finger. Yuri takes my hand and gives the wound a closer look. A closer look. Nice. Ah! She stares at it and noticeably fidgets. If you're squeamish, I'll go wash it off now. Without warning, Yuri puts my finger in her mouth and licks the wound. I feel her tongue curl around my finger. Startled, I instinctively pulled my hand back. Oh, please forgive me. I wasn't thinking. Yuri lowers her head and her face is burning up. Yuri, that's the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. How could I do something like that? I'm sorry. Sure it was a little weird and it took me by surprise, but I guess she was just trying to help, right? Yuri, I think you're overreacting a little. She doesn't lift her head. What if she doesn't recover from this for the rest of the afternoon? All right, you know what? This might be a stupid thing to do, but I do it anyway. I take Yuri's hand and lick her index finger in return. Hey, did you really just do that? Now we're even. Yuri just looks at me like I did something wrong. I knew that would be a bad idea. If not for the sweet aroma of jasmine oil, the air would be extremely heavy right now. You're so weird. Yuri giggles shyly. Yuri calling me weird? I have no response to that. Where do you keep your bandages? I don't think I need one, actually. It was a tiny cut. Look, it's already stopped bleeding. I see. That's relieving. The tension is quickly lifted. We each resume our respective activities. I watch Yuri's knife cut through the ribbon like it's nothing but air. Meanwhile, I continue to make progress on the paper. After we finish attaching the paper to the ribbons, we lay them all out side by side. It looks better than I expected and will be very effective as a door curtain. It looks great. Good thinking coming up with this, Yuri. Thanks. It's just something I saw online, really. Are you ready to move on to the next task? Yeah, let's do it. What do you have in mind? I'd like to create a banner. That's why I asked you to buy the paint tablets. That's right. One of the items Yuri asked me to buy was a kit of watercolor paint tablets. We need about 6 cups of water to put in each of the tablets in. You mind fetching those for us? Of course not. 6 cups of water. I'll be right back in a minute. Thank you very much. Oh, and just a little bit of water is okay. If you fill the cups too much, it'll be too diluted. Taking Yuri's advice, I decided to use the small plastic bathroom cups rather than full-size glasses. I put them on a plate to catch any paint that drips and then bring them back into my room. Yuri? Yes? I come in to see Yuri quickly unrolling her sleeve, pulling it back over her arm. Nothing. Your face is a little red. Is it too hot in here or anything? No, not at all. There's nothing wrong, so let's mix the paint. Yuri hurriedly dismisses me and takes it upon herself to unwrap the tablets, dropping them into the cups. So, I thought we would do something simple that would look very nice. I'd like to paint gradients across the banner, starting with the colors for sunrise and daytime, then sunset and nighttime. Once it dries, I'll write an inspirational quote across the banner. We can hang it on the wall behind the podium at the front of the classroom. Neat. What are you going to write? Well, it'll be more fun to surprise you. Yuri smiles at me. If you say so. After rolling out the banner, Yuri and I kneel on the opposite side so we don't get in the way of each other. Yuri uses a brush and adds a few dots of different colors across the banner to serve as a color guide when we paint. This kind of reminds me of elementary school. Painting on a banner with watercolors feels a lot like art class projects we had back then. It's relaxing. I'm sorry if this feels too childish. No, I didn't mean that at all. It's kind of fun, you know? Yeah, it's fun. I'm glad you feel that way too. Yuri stops painting for a moment, thinking to herself. For me, I don't need to go out and do crazy things to have fun. In fact, I usually don't even want to. I just like when I can spend time with one other person. Even if it's something simple, like reading. It doesn't even matter if we don't talk much. Just having a friend next to me makes me feel a little bit nicer. Makes it feel a little bit nicer. I think that's all it takes for me to be happy. Is that so? Even if Yuri and I are quite different, I can understand where she's coming from. I feel the way about things like anime and games, where simply sharing experiences with someone can make me happy. I think I feel the same way. Yuri smiles gently. I knew you'd understand. Yuri leans over the banner to grab an unused paintbrush, but I move at the same time, causing my head to bump into hers. Tja! Sorry. Yuri reels back and I quickly lift my hands in surprise. Are you hurt? No, I'm not hurt. It just startled me, that's all. Sorry, I should ask you to get it for me. Yeah, it's not your fault. Your face. There's droplets of paint on Yuri's face and neck. Is there something on my face? Yeah, I accidentally got paint on you. Sorry, it's totally my fault. I'll get a towel right away. I rush out and fetch a small towel and I dampen it with hot water. I return to my room and kneel back down in front of her. Here. I pat down Yuri's face and neck with the towel. Something wrong? It's hot. Just didn't expect it. Sorry. I didn't want to use cold water. Having finished, I start to retract my hand. But Yuri suddenly holds my wrist. Wait. Just for a little longer. It feels really nice. I keep my hand still against Yuri's neck. She looks into my eyes. It's an intense expression that I recognize from when she reads her books. almost as if she's lost in a daze, enveloped by her own thoughts. She breathes gently, halfly through slightly parted lips. What's happening? Is it the aroma of the jasmine oil giving me this dizzy feeling? Yuri's gentle fingers wrapped around my wrist. Sent a tingling sensation through my arm. And suddenly her face seems to be much closer to mine than it was just a moment ago. Yuri slowly pulls away. Sorry. I've been feeling a little lightheaded today. I didn't mean to space out. It's fine. The moment is over as soon as it began. Yuri picks up her brush again, but her movement seems clumsier, like she's unable to focus. I remain silent, forced to ignore the event that just transpired. I hesitantly retrieve my own brush and continue following Yuri's example. That should do it. I finished filling the night sky with white dots that look like stars. Looking at the banner as a whole, it's pretty and natural looking. I think it came out better than expected. I'm really happy with the results. Yeah, me too. Are you going to add the lettering now? Not yet. It needs to dry first. That's true. Won't that take a while? Well, perhaps it'll be best to leave it here, then have you bring it in the morning. I can do the lettering in the classroom before our event starts. Is that okay? That's totally fine. Wonderful. In that case, I don't think there's anything more for us to do here. Phew. You say that like you're glad it's over. Was I wrong to assume that you're at least enjoying yourself a little bit? Oh, no, it's not that. I'm just glad we managed to get everything done. I see. I am too. I was a little concerned about time. I need to start making dinner soon. So you didn't have any time left? I was secretly hoping we'd have extra time after finishing the work. Well, Yuri thinks to herself, I think it would be too irresponsible for me to wait much longer. I'm sorry. I was hoping there would be more time as well. It's probably my fault. Sorry for being such a slow worker. No, it's not your fault at all. And the important thing is we got everything done, right? Yeah. So? I shouldn't be disappointed or anything. Gathering all her things, Yuri seems to look a little downcast. I understand why. It sounded like she rarely got the opportunity to spend time with friends in a relaxed environment. But that doesn't mean this is the last time it can happen. Once Yuri packs up, I walk her out the front door. Thank you very much for having me today. No problem. I was glad I was able to help. Just let me know if there's anything else you need me to bring tomorrow. I will. Well then. Yuri fidgets. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Wait. I kind of said that without thinking. About today. It's fine that we didn't have as much time as we wanted, because we can do this again. Whenever you want, you can come over, or we can go somewhere. I forgot you don't like going out so much. As I stumble over my words, Yuri simply smiles bashfully. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, so... You're very thoughtful. Yuri takes a step closer to me, then briefly squeezes my hand. Jesus Christ. I kinda like that about you. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? But I don't even get a chance to, as Yuri suddenly pulls back. Sayori? Hi. Sayori. Just now we weren't... It's okay. I just stopped by to say hi. Well, it's nice to see you. I'm sorry, but I'm already on my way to leave. Aw, really? That's too bad. I'm sorry, but we'll all be together at the festival tomorrow, so that's fine, right? Of course. Sayori beams. Yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow. Clearly embarrassed, Yuri hurries off. Sayori waves goodbye after her. Sayori, I thought you didn't want to come over today. Well, I tried staying in my room, but my imagination was being really mean to me. So I had to come here and see it for myself. See what? What are you talking about? You know, how much fun you were having with Yuri. And how close you got to her. It makes me really happy that you've made such good friends. That's all that matters to me. Tears start to fall down Sayori's face. That's all that matters to me. Why am I feeling this way? I'm supposed to be happy for you. Why does it feel like my heart's splitting in half? It hurts so much. Everything hurts so much. This would be so much better if I could just disappear. Sayori, don't say that. It's true. If I wasn't here, then you wouldn't have to waste your sympathy on me. You wouldn't have to put up with me being selfish. Monica was right. What? Monica was right about what? I should just... Monica? Monica was right about what? He even gets it. Sayori, what I said before is true. I'm not going to let this continue. Caring about you like this isn't the burden your mind is making it out to be. It's something that makes me happy. It's something that I wouldn't trade for anything else. So even if it takes an entire lifetime, I'm going to be by your side so you don't feel any more pain. But Sayori looks away. I put a hand on her shoulder to reassure her. I'm scared. I'm really scared. What are you so scared of? I'm scared that I might like you more than you like me. Sayori? It's true, isn't it? I was weak and started to like you too much. I did this to myself. I like you so much that I want to die. That's how I feel. And that's enough, Sayori. I don't want you to hurt anymore. I slap my hand down Sayori's arm and squeeze her hand in my own. Do you remember how I said I always know what's best for you? Do you still believe me? Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Even if you don't understand all of your own feelings, I know what you need the most right now, and that's what I'm going to give you. Oh, no! I get the feeling that no matter what we pick, we're going to be fucked. I love you. There we go. I love you. Those are my true feelings, so there's no way you could like me more than I like you. I should have realized it sooner. But spending time with everyone at the club, making new friends, having fun with you every day, it helped me realize that you're truly the most important person to me. That's why I'll accept any of your burdens. As long as we continue like this every day, with you by my side, and then I know we'll both be happy. Suddenly, Sayori wraps her arms tightly around me. Is this really okay? Yeah. I let Sayori in my arms and pull closer. You'll never have to let go of me again. I love you. I want to be with you forever. Me too. I feel Sayori's grip around me weaken a little bit. What is this? Sayori? I'm supposed to be happy right now. I have not played this before, Shaded. I'm supposed to be happy right now. I always thought this would be the happiest moment for me. But why? Even now. Why won't the rain clouds go away? They're not going away at all. It's okay, Sayori. It might take some time for things to get better again. But no matter how long it takes, I'll be there every step of the way. That's all that matters right now. Okay. I trust you. Sayori and I slowly release each other. So, I guess that makes the festival tomorrow our first date, huh? What are you saying? I don't want to think about those things, you know? I want everything to be the same as it always has been. Even if we really are a couple. I don't know if I can handle anything more right now. It's really new and scary to me. I understand. We'll go whatever pace suits you best. Hey. Sayori gazes at me once again, smiling sadly. Even if I get really, really sad, this is the best thing for me, right? I don't really understand what Sayori means by that. Are you saying that this is making you feel sad, Sayori? I don't know. I don't understand what I'm feeling. It felt like a bunch of thorns when you told me you love me, but that's why I want to trust you. You know what's best for me. Yeah, I do. That's my promise. I say that, but in reality, I've never felt more uncertain when it comes to Sayori. I know that I love her and she loves me, but I'm having as much trouble understanding Sayori's feelings as she is. Even though I can comfort her, I keep wondering if I should be doing something more, or something different. I know these thoughts will continue to plague me until things are back to the way they were. Is that what Sayori meant by not wanting anything to change? I don't know, but I know that I'll give it everything I've got. Sayori's the most important person to me, and I'll do whatever it takes to have a happy future with her. It's the day of the festival. Of all days, I expect this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori, but Sayori isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house to wake her up, but decided that's a little too much. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. The banner Yuri and I painted is dry, and I gently rolled it up to take it with me. She sent me a pleasant text reminding me not to forget anything, and I reassured her. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend more time with Sayori and Yuri at the festival. But knowing Monica, I'm sure the event will be great too. Hey, you're the first one here. Thanks for being early. It's funny, I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monica is placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. They must be the ones she repaired that have all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monica would like and submitted it. So that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you. Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. You'd think that you'd think that on days this important, she'd try a little harder. I say that, but I suddenly remember what Sayori told me yesterday, and suddenly I feel awful, knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it because it's the way I'm used to thinking. But maybe I should have gone to wake her up after all. Nah, you should take a little responsibility for her. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. Kind of left her hanging this morning, you know? Exchange? Monica, you know about that? Of course I do. I'm the club president, after all. How does she know everything? I don't like this. But I stammer, embarrassed. Did Sayori really tell her about it that quickly? That we're a couple now? I didn't really plan on bringing it up with anyone yet. Ah! Holy shit. Gotta go to bed. No problem, Spike. Don't worry, the VOD will be up as soon as I'm done. It'll be up on YouTube. And don't forget, we're going to be doing a 3D print overnight stream again, because this print's going to take over a day to make. So go get some sleep, buddy. You've earned it. This has been a lot of talking for me. Anyways, I'm going to continue. You don't know the full story at all, so don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think. Eh? Monica's being as friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt a chill run down my spine after hearing that. I feel like shit's about to go dark. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets laid on the desk. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously. Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem was neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognized Natsuki and Yuri's poems from the ones who performed during our practice. What's this? I flipped to Sayori's poem. Oh, fuck. It's different from the one she practiced. It's one that I haven't read before. Get out of my head, get out of my head, get out of my head. Get out of my head. Get out of my head before I do what I know is best for you. Get out of my head before I listen to everything she said to me. Get out of my head before I show you how much I love you. Get out of my head before I finish writing this poem. But a poem is never actually finished. It just stops moving. I don't like this. What is this? Reading the poem, I get a pit in my stomach. What's wrong? Nothing. This poem feels completely different from everything else Sayori's written. But more than that, I changed my mind. I'm going to get Sayori, so, well, all right. Try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. Don't strain yourself. Monica calls out after me. I quicken my pace. Now, what was I thinking? I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her or help her wake up. Even the simplest gesture of walking her to school makes her really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they always have been. That's all she needed, and that's what I want to give to her. I reach Sayori's house and knock on the door. I don't expect an answer since she's not picking up on her phone either. Like yesterday, I opened the door and let myself in. Sayori! She really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. Gulp. I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm just letting you guys know. If something fucked up happens right now, I'm sorry, and you have been warned. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Waking her up in her own house. That really is something that a boyfriend would do, isn't it? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori! Wake up, dummy! There's no response. Excuse me. I really didn't want to have to enter her room like this. Isn't this kind of a breach of privacy? Oh, I don't like the feeling I'm getting. But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. Holy fuck! God damn! What? What's whoa? No. I don't like this. What the hell? What the hell? Is this a nightmare? It has to be. This isn't real. There's no way this can be real. Sayori wouldn't do this. Everything was normal up until a few days ago. Why can't I believe what my eyes are showing me? I suppressed the urge to vomit. Just yesterday, I told Sayori I'd be there for her. I told her I know what's best and that everything will be okay. Then why? Why would she do this? The music! Fuck, man! How can I be so helpless? What'd I do wrong? Confessing to her. I shouldn't have confessed to her. That's not what Sayori needed at all. She even told me how painful it is for others to care about her. Then why did I confess to her and make her feel even worse? Why was I so selfish? This is my fault. My swarming thoughts keep telling me everything I could have done to prevent this. If I just spent more time with her, walked her to school, and remained friends with her like it always has been, then I could have prevented this. I know I could have prevented this. Screw the literature club. Screw the festival. I just lost my best friend. Someone I grew up with. She's gone forever now. Nothing I do can bring her back. This isn't some game where I can reset and try something different. I only had one chance, and I wasn't careful enough. And now I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers. But I still couldn't do what she needed from me. And now, I can never take it back. Never. Never. Never, never, never. So there's something I noticed on the screen, and it's not this. What the fuck? That's not the end. That can't be the end. There's no fucking way that's the end. But I noticed that the game like restarted. Like it glitched. And I mean even the start game or continue or whatever the fuck it is there. Like when she was hanging and the screen behind her, it was the logo for the game developing company. It's totally the end, and I'm not lying. I hate to say it, but I don't think I believe you. Because why the fuck is she all glitched out now? Holy shit. Okay. And then it gave me some like text file to look up. I'm gonna have to review the footage and look. Cause what the fuck? I don't know. Holy shit. What a fucking place to end it. Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw and want to see more, you can always hit that follow button. Fuck me, man. You don't have to follow if you don't want to. You can always come and go as you please. Fuck me. God. I'm Click it so I can save? What the fuck happened to my save? We're gonna save in slot 2 and then we're gonna exit the game. What the fuck is happening? What is this? What is this? It's calling for an exception inside of a code. Um, is this my insecure? What is this? Okay. What is this? What is this? I too need to get to bed. What the fuck? Oh my god. Okay, this game really fucks with you. I need to I need to I need to go. Oh my god, this is fucking with me a lot. Ugh, excuse me, I have no idea what to do about any of this. um but again, thank you for following if you do. You don't have to if you don't want to. There's a lot to unpack here. I'm gonna save it for when I have more thoughts formed. You can check out my stuff at Alex Guy Thing, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. You can check out my Discord. You can check out my merch. I left my hoodie downstairs. But I have a hoodie that I showed off at the beginning of the stream from my merch. I'm trying to just formulate in my head what I'm thinking, and I don't even know yet. Because what the actual fuck did I just play? I don't get it just yet. I don't really have anybody that's streaming at the moment. Does anybody have any raid recommendations? While I'm finishing my outro, you can check out Broccoli Bomber Studios on YouTube. It's my channel with podcasts and let's plays with my bandmate. And speaking of bandmates, you can check out Limit Break. Limit Break. It's my video game cover band. It's on every streaming service available. Yeah. My brain hurts. If you guys give me like 10, 15 minutes, I might just kill the stream. And then start the 3D print stream and get everything set up for that. Because Jesus Christ, I have no fucking idea. Yeah. God damn. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and roll credits and then get ready for the stream and everything. Thank you for being here and watching. I did not expect to play this game this long, and also, you know what I mean. I didn't expect it to be this invasive, I guess is the words, because like throwing an invisible OS at me or a fake OS for the game was a nice touch of fucked up. Yeah, I don't know. But all right, guys, I'm gonna hop off of here. I'll see you sometime tomorrow. Enjoy the print. I haven't revealed what the print is yet, but the print is a Togepi inside of a pumpkin, and I figured it was pretty Halloweeny. So we're gonna go ahead and let that print. It's gonna take over 24 hours for this print to go to. So tomorrow you'll still be seeing a print. But I will see you guys sometime tomorrow. I love you very much. Do good things for yourself tomorrow, because I know you have goals that you want to take care of, and it doesn't matter how small or how big those goals are. As long as you start, that's all that counts. I'm gonna go ahead and hop off of here. My mind is kind of fucked. This is kind of how I felt when I first witnessed the Berserk movies, going in completely blind, knowing nothing about Berserk. So I need a minute. So I love you guys. I'll see you sometime soon. So until then, take care.